Good day, fellow rockers and moshers. Welcome to the Metal Connection, the connection to all things metal. I'm J-Dub, or Jamie Wolanski here, and with me we got PTB Empire, Poss the Boss, as he's like to call himself. So Poss the Boss
What's up,
Empire, and
guys?
he has a big YouTube channel, large subscribers, large view count, all that sort of thing, and he does reactions and all that sorts of stuff, even like guitar breakdowns, which is really cool. He has these really very interesting guitar breakdowns. But anyway, on the show, we're going to be ranking the whole Nine Inch Nails discography, and it's actually an interesting topic all in itself, the Nine Inch Nails discography, because I didn't really talk to him beforehand about what he was going to specifically rank, and I guess maybe a good thing to start the show with is like the Ghost albums, like that's a Nine Inch Nails band album. But are you going to be including the Ghost projects in your ranking today?
Un- Unfortunately, sir, yes, I am going to be including that because that is sadly a part of Nine Inch Nails. But as you know, you've watched my tier list in the past. You told me, um, that album alone is just it doesn't do it for me, man. It doesn't do it. It's just not there. I'm not a fan of instrumentals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you said sadly. I wouldn't say sadly because I think a lot of Nine Inch Nails fans do like that. They do get into it. Like some different people get into that atmospheric kind of
yeah,
really slow mellow
fair is
stuff.
fair. You know that's
I'm not going to
fine.
say it's bad or nothing like that, but I will kind of agree with you. It's not really for me. And I know when we do kind of get going here with the ranking, I didn't rank the ghosts. It's not in my ranking. So if I were to rank the ghosts, it's way at the bottom. Like I'm not even going to mention it.
Same.
It's right at the bottom. So that is kind of a cool thing we'll start the show with. Although it would be cool to have like maybe another guest that did like the ghosts and maybe we could hear their viewpoint of it. But here nor there on that.
I think that would be Scott, but he can't join us today,
Right.
unfortunately. So,
And yeah, also probably would be a good thing to mention that he didn't really PTB has done a tier list, not necessarily a ranking. It's kind of the one of those tier lists where it's like an A, B, C thing, sort of thing. Is that sort of the thing?
yeah, I draw a lot of my inspiration from a channel known as Metal Trenches. He does album reviews. He's a pretty good friend of the Empire. I've been following him for around 5 or 6 years. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I did Deftones and Nine Inch Nails. But on the topic of the ghost, the guy that can't make it, the Stiff Truth is also another podcast that I would like the viewers to check out. They talk a lot about of basically politics and stuff like that, and just all on the world, everyday world stuff. The Stiff Truth is their channel, but yeah,
Yeah, I've seen another guy use that tier list sort of thing. I think the punk rock MBNA guy, the punk
not a
MBNA
fan,
NBA guy,
not a
that guy,
fan of him.
he does that tier list on his other channel or whatever. But
Yeah,
anyway, we're not really here for that. But anyway, so I guess we did talk about the ghosts and whatever. If you're going to be including that, and I'm probably going to have a surprise near the end or near the top of
ooh,
my
I
list
love
about
surprises, bro.
it's
I
kind of
love
a surprise
surprises.
about something that maybe you didn't include in your
Okay.
ranking because well, I won't even give it away because Nine Inch Nails just have a lot of like remix albums, EPs, and this and that. So I kind of just left it up to you. You rank whatever you want, and I'll just rank whatever I want. Although we are kind of mainly doing the full album discography, and I believe Nine Inch Nails has what,
Uh,
8?
I was gonna ask you a question, Jamie. Real
Yeah.
quick. After this video is made, can you send this to me so I can throw this up on my channel as well for the viewers to check it out and then
Oh yeah,
check
for
out
sure. Oh
your
yeah,
channel?
for sure. Yeah, for sure. And then
Cool.
yeah, like in the
Cool.
comments
Awesome.
below, I'll put your link to your channel and things like that. And so
Okay.
that stuff will all be good. And
Well, that doesn't matter to me if you do that. I want your channel to get out there. I could care less about mine, man. I mean, I appreciate the love, but I want others to succeed as well. I want others to be able to experience the big boys level, I guess. I'm not really a big boys, but yeah. I want other viewers to know other channels. So I love to help other people. That's the whole point of the empire. But anyways, yeah, let's get to this, man.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, thank you. Yeah, yeah. For me, the reason I'm kind of doing this and liking this, I like to do like a groups or get someone else and get kind of different people's opinions, different thoughts, and
Hmm.
kind of talk it out and hash it out just for the love of music, basically. Like it's not like for me, I don't ever expect to hit like 1 million subscribers and start making money off this stuff. Or,
You never know, man. You
so
never know.
it's pretty like like what I'm doing is pretty kind of like low budget. I'm not editing, not adding special effects and all these cool intros and stuff like that. So I'm not really expecting that, but
Yeah.
uh, I will maybe just volunteer myself to go first, and then we'll just do one and one back and forth.
Cool. Sounds
So
good.
uh, I think even picking a least favorite was even hard, but I'm not going to go
Yeah.
there yet until kind of the top 3 or 4 was getting really difficult for me.
Yeah.
So maybe no surprise to you or anyone watching in the future. I think my least favorite, even though I do like this album and I would have liked to have gotten it higher, it's just Nine Inch Nails' discography, like their full length studio albums are quite strong. Well, I
Oh
think
yeah.
we would both agree because that's why we're both here. We're Nine Inch Nails fans, so it's hard sticking something last because it's like it kind of gives someone a sense it's last because it's bad. No, it's not bad. It's just I have to do this. I didn't want to put something last. You just have to. Anyway, so the last one for me, bottom would be The Slip. 2008, The Slip. And again, it's not a bad album. It's great.
You're
I,
kidding me.
I
Oh
do
my
like
God. You're the first person I've ever said that ever met that doesn't that's gonna throw it at the bottom next to Ghost, of course. But
something's
wow,
got
that's
to go on
actually
the
one of my favorites.
something's got to go on the bottom.
That's
So,
crazy.
and I think that is kind of going to be the really cool thing about me and you doing this. I think me and you are going to have just completely, vastly different rankings. So I'm kind of excited to see how you hashed yours out, and obviously
What's
me
your
throwing.
reasoning behind that?
Uh, it's kind of just going on. Something has to go last here, and yeah, just something has to go last. I don't really, I was going to do a song breakdown, but obviously there's a bunch of cool songs like The Thousand, Discipline, Echoplex,
I
but
love Discipline.
even Demon Seed, the last song, Demon Seed, is
Echoplex
awesome.
is amazing.
Yeah, actually, I
Lights in
really
the Sky is amazing. I love that song. And
right.
Demon Seed too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
like
yeah, man.
I love the last song, Demon Seed. That song's great,
Yeah.
but
That's one of my favorites.
and I guess when the Nine Inch Nails were putting these out, they hand numbered each of them or hand numbered.
Yep.
So I have number
There was a thing
9
going around. I remember at the time that there was an Easter egg going around saying
right
that
here.
if you entered those numbers in like a URL, you could find a hint about the next album.
But yeah, it's, when I have to crunch down these band rankings, it's hard because you have to stick something last, even though I do like it. Um, I know there was one coming up here in the next couple where I would have loved to have gotten it higher. It's just hard to get something high because then you have to drop something else down. But yeah, this slip is good, but so are the bunch of the other ones. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get you up first with what is your bottom.
Oh boy, man, this is such a hard question. So, there's so many freaking albums. Are we talking studio albums? Or are we talking like just like the EPs and stuff? Or do you want
You
to
could
do
do
like
however
everything?
you'd like. If there is a remix or EP that you do really enjoy and you want to do it. I guess.
Did we throw Ghosts together, right? We threw 6 and 5 together.
Yeah, like for me,
Okay.
I didn't even really include
And one
Ghost.
through four.
If I
Yeah.
were to, Ghost would be under the Slip for sure. So Slip is higher than the Ghost, so that's for sure
Yeah.
for me.
I think for me, the bottom of the list next to Ghost would be Bad Witch. I didn't really care for it. Like that one, and there was another one. He released a single. It was like an EP. Yeah, I forget what it was
Add
called.
violence.
It looked like an analog. Add Violence. That's it. Yep, that's it. I didn't care for that one either. There was only one good song. Less Than. That was my favorite. And Bad Witch really didn't really impress me either. I'm waiting um, for a new, take on Nine Inch Nails. I'm waiting for a new album. I've been waiting for a new album for since they released Hesitation Marks. So
Mhm.
I love Hesitation Marks. Sorry, but yeah,
Yeah, I think Trent. Obviously, Trent is just so busy doing these. Now he's doing like the movie soundtracks and movie
yeah, I
sound.
heard about that. He
He's
helps
really
his wife with her band as well. Well, it's their band, How to Destroy Angels. I love that band too. So,
yeah.
but
So
yeah,
he.
for me, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I know. I was just gonna say, yeah, he's always got tons of projects. So I can definitely understand why there is 5 year gaps between each album because he just gets
Hmm.
involved with so much stuff. He even got involved with that pop singer. What's her name? Do you know who I'm talking about? Just
Uh, what the fuck's her name? Halsey. He got
Halsey,
involved with
yeah.
Halsey. Yeah.
So he was probably busy with Halsey for a couple months, and then he's doing the movie soundtracks and just.
He
But
did he did he did Ready Player One, right? He was in Ready Player One and I forget what was the other one he was in. Oh, he did the music soundtrack for The Social Network as well. That was all Nine Inch Nails. I knew that as soon as I watched the movie, I was like, this is fucking Trent Reznor. I know this is Trent Reznor. I know it's Trent Reznor. And funny thing about him is his origin. Like he started out working a shit job, like most of us do, And he's like, one day he just decided, hey, fucking let's make music with industrial stuff. So he listened to a lot of Skinny Puppy. He listened to a lot of what Ministry, and those were his two biggest influences with the music.
oh yeah, and definitely he liked all this stuff that wasn't really super popular probably in the
He
'80s
was
at
a
the time,
yeah, yeah.
like metal was rock and heavy metal and glam and Kiss and things like that were popular in the '80s, and he was listening to the completely other side of the spectrum sort of stuff, but he also probably did like some of that rock and stuff. Obviously, some of
Oh
his
yeah.
stuff is rock, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. I know I pulled up an old school video of him performing on the keyboard, right? It's just like way back in the early, like mid '80s, right? Just very new wavy
So
stuff.
cool. He's
And
a huge inspiration, man, to my music as well. So just with the synths and everything.
yeah, actually, another interesting thing is I know I was involved. I'm like on the Nine Inch Nails Facebook group, and I don't know how this came up with one at the time, but anyway, I got into it with one of the admins about Bad Witch, actually, which you just mentioned, where I didn't think that that was considered a full length studio album. So anyway, so then I go on Wikipedia, and they do have it listed under a full length studio album, even though it is just 6 songs.
Yeah.
So like in my head, I'm thinking Bad Witch is just an EP, and then the Nine
Well,
Inch Nails.
you got to take into effect the sorry, I for interrupting, but you got to take into effect on how long the album actually is. That's what defines an EP and an album. If there is a certain amount of time that is less than, I believe it is 30 minutes. If it's more than 30 minutes, it's considered an album. If it's less than 30 minutes, it's considered an EP. I learned that from a source that I can't remember the source I learned it from, but it was a source I read a while back getting into music production. Sorry.
Yeah, I could agree with that too. In some sort of fashion. But like for me, I'm just thinking 6 songs. That's not really a full length album. It's an EP, and it must be just breaching that 30-minute mark. It just must be like
Hmm.
31 minutes, probably like just technically because. And anyway, so then I'm getting into it. The admin at Nine Inch Nails group, he's like, "Oh, it is," and I'm like, "Why don't you go tell Wikipedia that?" He's like, I edit the Nine Inch Nails Wikipedia page. I'm like, oh shit. He's like, I
So
edit. He's like, I'm a monitor on that Nine Inch Nails Wikipedia page. I'm like, oh shit.
yeah,
He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, you got me there, I guess. But anyway, actually, it's kind of good leading into that as well. Is I just consider that an EP, so I'm not including that Bad Witch into my ranking. Although I'm going to be breaking the rules later on, and I am going to be including an EP. You
the
probably know,
remixes.
you probably know what I'm going to be talking about. Not that. I think when you did your tier list, you weren't quite a fan of it, what I was really shocked. But
Matrix?
No, it is a Nine Inch Nails EP, but I did break the rules, and I am including that in my rankings. So I took out Bad Witch, and I put in something else in replace of it. So we'll go back to me here, and this is going to be controversial, super controversial. I hate to even show this.
Oh, you're talking about Broken and Fixed, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to give things away, but yeah. And yeah, I am including that into my full-length Steel album.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
that'll be later. But next for me, it's going to be hard to even show this right now because anyone watching and even you, there's so much nostalgia tied to this album. But I don't know. I've just never like for sure. There's 3 or 4 great songs. I've just never thought this album was as great as everyone made it seem. The Downworld Spiral.
Oh, I never seen that version right there.
Yeah, it's just
I've
a
only
Downward
seen
Spiral
the
here.
Coil.
But
Is that the
yeah,
alpha version or what is that?
it's just I don't know the Downward Spiral. I don't know.
I've never seen that
Well,
art
it's actually
on the Downward Spiral.
it was supposed to come in like a box, like a slipcover box, but I didn't get my
Oh, okay.
I didn't get
Yeah,
my
I
own
know what you're talking
slipcover
about now.
box, so this is just the booklet and then the back cover. But
Okay.
anyway, the Downward Spiral. Yeah, I know. I think this is going to be like I think maybe based off people's nostalgia. I think this is a lot of people's number one. So to have this at the second to bottom list for me, I'm sure a lot of people are cringing right now, saying "Whoa!" But yeah, I think beyond the 3 or 4 great tracks that are on this album, the rest of it really doesn't.
3 or 4, 3 or 4 great
Yeah,
tracks.
like I
Oh my
said,
god!
like
All right, we'll talk about that later.
all right, okay, there might be like 4 or 5 or something,
Yeah.
great songs, but I think other than that, it's not as great as everyone like really like the nostalgia made it seem to a lot of people. And even that Hurt song that a lot of people love, that Hurt song doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, that ruined it for me, man. I hate whenever mainstream songs get the praise of a band that actually made the original. Like Johnny Cash is more praised for Hurt. They say that Johnny Cash made Hurt. I tell people all the time, Johnny Cash did not make fucking Hurt. They did not. Sorry, get my
Oh,
thoughts
right.
on this. Sorry. But yeah, they did not make. He did not make Hurt. The original writers of Hurt were Nine Inch Nails. I'm pretty sure I told people this in my tier list as well. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss here or not. I don't know if you have kids that watch or.
No, I've turned the settings to adults only, so you can swear, yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So what is that? Is that Burn?
Downward Spiral.
Oh, you just took the CD out. Okay.
Downward Spiral, yeah. I was trying to show the name.
So, I don't know if I want to mention it now or whenever I get to this album on my ranking. But I think I'll probably just wait until it's my turn. But yeah, there's a lot of facts that people don't know about the Downward Spiral.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll wait for that. But I think with Hurt, I think it'd probably be like the younger generation that didn't grow up with the album during the time, because anyone that was alive and the new Nine Inch Nails back in '94,
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 36.
So I'm 33.
Yeah, so I would have been familiar with Nine Inch Nails back at when this was released, sort of thing. So I think it's kind of just the newer fans that maybe that thought Johnny Cash was the original, and then Nine Inch Nails did the cover. So I think it's kind of a weird reversal.
I love Johnny Cash. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
But yeah, obviously the big standout track for me on this one is March of the Pigs. But and there's some other good songs too. Closer, Hershey's okay. The opener, Self Destruct's okay. Big Man with the Gun's great.
Yeah, I love that song.
But I think other than that, there's a bunch of filler that I could do without, and I actually.
You don't like so you don't like Reptile or Heresy?
Reptile, I could do with. No, I could not do without, but I mean, like it's okay.
Beautiful fire. Yeah, dude, fucking love that song. That is my all-time favorite Nine Inch Nails song of all time. Like, just top.
But yeah, no, it did feel weird putting this right down at the bottom because I know people just love this album. There's so much nostalgia tied to this album, and people just love it. And it did feel weird putting it so low, but I think well we'll see as we go on that a lot of the newer stuff that he's been doing is much more consistent as opposed to four great tracks. Like some of the whole albums are great as we start moving along here. But anyway, that's kind of what we're here to. I don't know. Argue, healthily argue, but
Yeah,
hey, we'll go back to you for your next one here.
cool. So we're still at the bottom, correct? We're working our way up. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing. All right, cool. So I said my last two picks were Bad Witch and Add Violence, which Add Violence is not a studio album, but apparently Bad Witch is. That's the first time I've ever heard that it was a
yeah. If you
studio album.
if you go on Wikipedia, they consider that a full
Crazy.
length studio album.
Oh boy. All right. So my next one up, the one that I can maybe do without, but not do without is Year Zero.
Oh,
Year Zero is it's a great album. Don't get me wrong. It's a very very weird album. And my friend from Russia, Anna, did a cover of Survivalism, and I'm not really a big fan of that song. I love Capital G. I love My Violent Heart. I love The Warning. Like all those tracks are great, but like this album just didn't really do it for me. And I love In This Twilight too. That's a great freaking mural on that album. I don't own that album. I don't know. I don't own a single Nine Inch Nails album. I used to own them, but they're all gone. They're back home. So that's cool. Is that supposed to like represent a utopian or dystopian world? It looks like it is.
yeah. I'm not sure. You might have more info than me about it. Like again, I'm not like the most nutsest, craziest Diane Chills fan in the world. Like there's some nuts out there that could just rifle off information for days.
Sorry.
I'm more of just like not a casual. I'm just a regular fan. I just like to own the studio albums and listen to the music. I'm not a complete nut. Like there are some nuts, but yeah, I'm not one of those guys who just like researching Trent Reznor for hours and days and can rifle off and read his books and all that sort of stuff. So,
Nice.
but yeah, but yeah, Year Zero.
Zero.
I
Year
really
zero.
like.
Sorry.
I really like Year Zero. I really like these. When he started kind of progressing with his like almost like started experimenting with the EDM sounds that were getting more popular right at the time,
Yeah.
like the clubby EDM sounds that were going on. And he was kind of just merging that in with what he normally does. So yeah, I thought that was really cool how he was kind of experimenting with the kind of newer EDM kind of club sounds that were going on at the time.
I think the whole idea behind Year Zero was that there was a lot of stuff going around during this time period in the world, that the world was about to end in 2012. And I think that he built an album around just all of the controversy going on with the conspiracy theories and everything when that movie came out. I think it was in 2009 that movie came out, 2012 came out. But I think that Trent was really in the conspiracy theories kind of stuff. And Year Zero is kind of a resemblance of starting over. Basically, the world's ended. It's day one or year zero in either case. I think that's what it's kind of getting at.
Yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
definitely like there's definitely a concept, but I in terms of the music, I think the rave scene and things like that were huge at the time. I think he was kind of trying to get current with his like EDM rave type kind of new stuff that was going on. So he was definitely trying to experiment with some of that. And I actually really like a lot of that album, as you guys will probably find it, as it's kind of higher up in my list. Um, yeah, there's that. I guess we'll go back to me. And this is an album, my next album that I was about to show. I actually really like this album. It's actually really grown on me a lot, especially these last couple of years, even more so even the last year in general. But I would have loved to have gotten Hesitation Marks higher. Hesitate, yeah, I would have liked to have,
Wow.
hey,
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be later for me.
yeah, I would have liked to have gotten it higher because I do think it is that strong. But then I was like, well, if I move this up higher in my list, something's got to drop, and then
Yeah.
this is hard, right? Like this stuff's kind of hard, but we're just it's just for fun. Again, if I were to do this in a year from now, 2 months from now, 2 days from now, a week from now, years from now, it could just be different, right? So it's kind of just what I'm feeling today or this week or whatever. But yeah, this I think this out of my whole I think this album out of my whole list, this is probably the one I would have liked to have gotten higher. If there was a way to get it higher, I would have liked to it. Um, but yeah, obviously the copy of is great, or copy of is just great. But actually, I find most of this album is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's actually one of those ones that it's actually really grown on me. Even like the slower songs, I tend to just play and actually started to kind of even the slower songs are kind of grown on me. But yeah, cool little there's like a little hype sticker on the back. I think I actually got this new, so I would have put that hype sticker on the back. Sometimes you get them used and they get to, sometimes they stick the hype sticker wherever they want, but I think I actually stuck that on the back myself, but it's tasteful there. But yeah, hesitation marks. I would have liked to have gotten this higher. It's just one of those things, you got to do it.
Mhm.
And I'd say like musically, it's not like as EDM as, EDM as Year Zero. It's kind of more back to his regular industrial atmosphere. It's very atmospheric, industrial, very moody, things like that. So it's a grower album for me, where it's just gotten better and better the more I listen to it.
Yeah, in my tier list, I was just kind of looking at the still that I said before. I threw it under a B, but it's just not doing it for me anymore. The Year Zero, it's just not really. It used to do it for me, but now it's kind of getting old listening to it, to be honest. And I just need like some new, Nine Inch Nails kind of music. Like I said, I'm waiting on new music. Is it my turn, or are you still?
Actually, yeah, we might as well just go back to you for your next one.
Okay, so an album that's really grown on me since the last time I labeled everything or ranked everything is Still. Still actually is above Year Zero now because I'm listening to it, more than I was Year Zero. Years ago I used to listen to Year Zero, but um, now it's Still. I love the slow piano. Like they say, as you get older, your music taste changes. I feel that. Like I really do. I feel that. And just the fact that Trent can move a whole album into just being piano is just that's awesome. That is just awesome. Just it's what they have nowadays. They call it reimagining something. Trent was doing this well before these kids were even born. You know what I mean? Like he's been doing this industrial music and the piano music since people have been born. You know, but I like to think that he's one of the creators of industrial, in my opinion. I really think he is. But yeah, this album is great. Something I can never have is just it's and the Fragile on piano are just heavenly. They are just heavenly songs. And the day the world went away is another one, is an amazing song on the piano. Yeah, like I said, it still doesn't beat the original, but I have been listening to it a lot recently.
So still, so you kind of caught me off guard with that. Still, is still just kind of like not a remix album sort of thing that he
It's
did. He
a piano album, just
reimagined.
straight, basically just kind of it's kind of like the mellow remix version of the Fragile. Is it the Fragile?
Oh,
Isn't that
okay,
the album
yeah.
name?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's probably why I didn't really rank it or include it. It's just not really something that ever caught on my
The
radar.
Fragile and Pretty Hate Machine were the two songs, this is the mix of songs that they put on there. And there was a
Oh,
couple B-sides on there as well, but they were just remix versions. Yeah. Pretty
yeah, like
good.
I know he's got a million remix albums and things like that. So I was like, hey, whatever you want to rank, you can rank, and whatever I want to exclude to rank, I'll exclude. They were same with you,
Mhm.
likewise. But Like even that Add Violence, like I have it. I don't know if it's like, but I have Add Violence, and yeah, it is just an EP. I think it is. People are very know it is an EP, so I didn't really rank that either. I didn't really want to, we could have talked about it and include it as well, but I personally didn't really rank it in my studio albums per se. But yeah, that's that on that. But yeah, I'm not familiar with that still. If it was just a kind of reimagined piano versions of older tracks, um, I'm not going to say it's bad because I've never heard it, but it probably wouldn't be really up my alley. I probably would prefer the original versions, but
Yeah. Like I
um,
said, I love the originals, but like this is actually a pretty good listen. If you sit down and listen to it, it has some pretty good songs on it. I would definitely recommend you check it out.
that's cool stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably including more than me, but maybe we'll get. Well, yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll finish before you, and you have to do the last couple. But next for me, yeah. Again, I think this is going to be another tough pill for people to swallow for my next one. And I don't even know how to go ahead and say this, but my next one is the Fragile here, the double disc Fragile. And
Wow.
yeah, I think even
How
though
many
it was
more do you have left, if you don't mind me asking?
after the Fragile, I would
Hmm.
have one, two, three, four.
Wow, it's not even in your top three. That's crazy.
No,
That's crazy.
it would be
Wow.
my one, two, three, four. It would be my fifth. So
Okay.
this is number five for me, my fifth bottom up or whatever. And
That's
yeah,
definitely
like
an S tier album. In my opinion, that's an S tier album. I prefer the A side over the B side.
and
The B
S
side
tier.
just doesn't do it for me. So
Yeah, I think if I could pull all my favorite songs throughout both discs, we'd have one great album.
oh
But then
yeah.
there's all those filler tracks. Well, for me, they're not filler for everyone, but for me personally, I think I could probably take out one album, and then I'd be left with all the good songs that I do like, and I'm not. I don't even know how to say this correctly without getting starched or nothing. But like, I think I do. I think I downgraded it just for the fact that there is so much filler throughout the two albums.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Like, I think if this
There
was
is a
just
lot of filler songs, especially on side B. Side A just
yeah,
side B doesn't do it for me. Like I said, it just doesn't.
yeah.
It's not there.
Oh,
It's
there
just
you go.
not
So
there.
yeah, yeah, and I remember all the music videos and promos coming out for this album, and the
Yeah. Starfuckers is a terrible
Starfuckers, right,
song.
had
I
that
don't like that
video.
song.
And I think Marilyn Manson was in the back there doing
Yep.
coke in the video or
He was in
whatever.
a
Yeah,
limousine
that's
doing
right.
coke.
And I think there was a music video for The Day That Went Away too. I think wasn't there? Or We're in This
The day the
Together.
world went away. Let me look.
I think there was a video for
Uh,
We're in
there's
This Together.
We're in this together had a music video.
And I think David Bowie was in that, wasn't he? David
We're in this
Bowie.
together.
I think David Bowie was in that music video. Could be wrong.
Not sure. It was black and white. I do know that. I know there was a David Bowie reference to the Children of the Black Sun in there, his cult that he belonged to. Rest in peace. But
Huh?
Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy Stardust is it's I like I never I have never listened to Ziggy Stardust. I'm sorry, never. I know who David Bowie is. I know the songs he sings, but like Ziggy Stardust, I never got into that persona that he had. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember enough to just kind of talk about it great on video right now, but I
Mhm.
think a lot of the David Bowie stuff is better than that Ziggy Stardust in general.
Mhm.
But yeah, I know David Bowie was in one of the songs and one of the videos. I think that was the video. Again, it's been so long since I watched. I should have watched it before. But yeah, I just think obviously, this is the Fragile is one of the Nine Inch Nails classic albums here, 1999.
It's got a weird album cover, man. It's weird.
Uh,
It's like they completely cropped the top half and then forgot about it, like at all. Like it's just weird. It's a weird vibe to it.
And I think this would be another album that just holds huge nostalgia weight to a lot of Nine Inch Nails fans. So they would probably rank it high, just maybe based off nostalgia or whatever. But I know for me, I kind of get a little fussy when there's a bunch of filler tracks. I'm like, I just want to hit play and just like
Hmm.
all the tracks. So when there's a bunch of filler tracks that I have to skip or whatever, I think I downgraded it. That I downgraded it
Hey man,
just for that
it
reason.
could be it could be worse. You could have a whole fucking 3 albums with filler tracks.
So
Ghost, you know what I mean?
right. But yeah, no, there obviously is a bunch of great stuff in between all the filler and things like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it is good, but it's actually kind of interesting. I was actually that was one of the ones I was flip flopping back and forth. I was flip flopping between Fragile and Downward Spiral, but I think overall, I think Fragile probably has more songs that I like on the Fragile album than Downward Spiral does. So I think that's how I just got it higher. Even though I think Downward Spiral probably does have the better 5, 6 tracks that are actually better. But then
Yeah.
Fragile, between two albums, there's a lot of stuff, good stuff there. But yeah, that's that on that, I suppose. And we'll go back to you.
So you have 4 left, correct, right now? You have left.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna make it easy. I'm not gonna pick all the ones I was gonna pick because this video would take forever.
You could do a
But
couple in a row. You could do a couple in a row.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the remixes. I'm gonna throw all the remixes together here. There's some songs that I do like from their remixed albums. This includes the Perfect Drug, the Year Zero remixes, the Things That Falling Apart, uh, the Further Down the Spiral, the Pretty Hate, all his remix albums. I'm throwing them all here because they are not better than the original tracks. There's gonna be some people with pitchforks and freaking uh, torches coming at me on this comment, but nothing is better than the original song, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. There's only one band out there that I listen to the remixes more than I do the originals, and that's Linkin Park with Reanimation. That's the only band that I listen to
Oh
that
well.
has the remixes that I love. But yeah, these remixes albums just not they're not doing it for me. They never did it for me in the beginning. There was some songs that really stood out for me, but like making how many songs did he make? I'm looking this up on Spotify as we speak. Give me 1 second.
Like
So
original song.
The Perfect Drug. He made 5 fucking remixes for the Perfect Drug. Why? Why 5 remixes? You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy to me, and just there's just so many like this closer to God. He made several versions of Closer. That's another one. It's like, why do you do that? Like it's so much work just to make an album alone, or just to make a single alone. Like people don't understand how much work goes into this process, man. It One of my songs takes me 3 weeks just to make, and a whole album probably takes close to a year and a half if you want it to sound good. But yeah, with him, it probably took it around 2 years to make an album because he wants it to sound good. So with all these remixes, it's kind of like, just why? Why do you throw those remixes in there? And it's cool, I respect it, Trent, if he does watch this, but um, I respect your opinion on remixes, but nothing is better than the original.
I really liked the remix album that he did do. It's not Further Down the Spiral. It was another one just based off just March of the Pigs, I think. Well,
Mm.
I forget what it's called. I think it's just called March of the Pigs. Like an EP remix album. I don't know if you could pull it up.
Yeah, it's right there. I see it. March of the Pigs got Reptilian, all the pigs lined up, a violent fluid underneath the skin. Yeah. I never heard that one, to be honest.
That's actually really cool because he kind of just remix. I think it's kind of just a remix of the same song of different parts of the same song. But
Hmm.
I think that's a remix album that did kind of hit with me. Yeah. I don't think it was Further Down the Spiral. I think it was just called March of the Pigs. I think. Um, and yeah, I don't know if you want to go next and include like an actual like studio album next in your.
Oh, you want me to pick a studio too? But yeah, I just want to. I don't know if you're gonna leave the remixes in there, but yeah, I think it's kind of important that they should be on there. To be honest, Because like they're a part of Trent. I don't I don't listen to him every day, but yeah. On the subject of a studio album that I have to throw up for next. Oh my god, it's such a hard question. Give me 1 second, okay? Oh fuck. All right, this one, this one. Oh man. All right. I hate to do this. I really do. I really hate to do this, man. But
Yeah.
I gotta give it to the Fragile. Only side A. Side A, bro. Side A is the only good
Yeah,
side.
there you go.
It's the only good side, dude. I cannot stand Starfuckers Incorporated. That song is one of the worst Nine Inch Nails songs I have ever heard. Like, seriously, it is probably my least favorite song
I was
of
gonna
all
actually
time.
bring that up. Yeah, I think there is that. I think there is some people that do hate that song. I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Maybe it's just because it has this super like kind of.
It's weird. It's a weird vibe. Off topic, do you remember Filter whenever they did that with the Chemical Brothers? They did that remix. That was actually a really good song, but it has that kind of vibe to it. I'm a huge fan of Filter.
Oh, you're talking about from the Spawn soundtrack when Filter did the
Yes.
chemical.
Can't you I can't remember what the fuck the name of it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got you
I
where I
know.
want you. I can't remember.
No, that was the Spawn. Spawns did that where
I'll look it up.
they did where they had a bunch of where they pretty well crisscrossed rock with
Yeah,
DJs
fuck,
and
what
things
was
like
that? It's gonna kill me if I don't get this.
that.
Oh my god.
The big come down's cool on side two as well. I like the big come
Big
down.
big come down.
And on on track A on the first sticks, there's Lummer. That's cool. I like that one. It's kind of
Big come
a
down. What is that one? Let me look.
but
Is that a single?
no, that's on disc two of the Fragile.
Oh, okay, it's the song. I thought you were talking about the album. I was like,
Big come
yeah.
down.
No, I'm not really a fan of that song to be honest. It just never really appealed to me. Not really a big fan of that song. The songs that I love on this album are "The Day the World Went Away" has one of my all-time favorites on this album. "The Wretched," "We're in This Together," "The Fragile," "Even Deeper," and I like "La Mere" and "The Great Below" too. "Great Below" is definitely a great track. It's a great way to end side A for sure.
Lemire
But
has
yeah, if I
that.
had to pick one on side B that I like, there's two of them. "Into the Void," "Where's Everybody?" That's about the only ones that I like. I like "Complication" too, but yeah, not really
Lemire has that
that big of a fan.
piano. Lemire is a piano track, isn't it? Basically.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
yes.
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like that one.
I started on piano. I think that's why I kind of like it, and then I developed into guitar, drums, and bass and singing. And wow, yeah, La Mer was something different. And I like that.
It's funny. I would have bought this back in 1999, but then back in 1999, I was starting to get into heavier stuff. Like as we progressed, a couple years later, and new metal was big, and I just wanted fast and aggressive stuff. And I remember trading it away for something else. Like I was like, okay, I'm done with this album. I want to trade it away. It's not heavy enough for me. I was getting into heavier stuff, right? Cannibal Corpse and death metal and stuff like that. So I traded
I
away.
never got into Cannibal Corpse, believe it or not. I've heard
So
maybe 3 songs by that man. So
well, when you're a young kid, it's all about aggressive and your hormones, right? Just want hey, you need fast, aggressive stuff. So that was that. And I remember trading it in, whatever, a year after I bought it. I was like, I was done with this album, and then here I am, whatever. 15,
collecting CDs now. You got a whole fucking back wall of CDs behind you.
and here I am 15 years later, and I had to re-buy it. So this is the second time I bought this in my life. So
That's awesome, man. I
so it
love
was,
that all that shit's behind you. That's so cool, dude.
oh yeah, like
Love
I
it.
remember, I remember like one of the first bands I was like I got into was like Nirvana and Marilyn Manson, and then there was a time when I was sick of it, so I would trade them all in for new stuff to hear different stuff. Back to then you could actually there were CD stores and you could trade something in and get something else. So I would get sick of something and trade it in and get something new. And then here I am, whatever, 15 years later, re-buying all the stuff that I was like, oh, I got rid of this, and here I fucking have to get it again.
So
But
you're a collector of albums and CD and digipacks and jewel cases. I'm a collector of hats. I love hats.
oh yeah,
I
cool.
got around 30 hats. So of bands.
Yeah, and that's cool. I see you got the Deftones poster behind you there. It looks like there's two.
One second, let me move. So this other band right there, that's a band called Conflict. They're from Russia.
Oh,
They're a industrial death metal band. They are fucking amazing. I got the government box set back there, and also the album for Around the Fur. And
ah.
underneath
Oh yeah, I
that,
see it.
I'll show you. Hang on one sec. I'll show you.
Yeah, no, I do see it there, but yeah, I was actually while you're just doing that, I was going to say to the viewers, anyone watching, is that that's how we did meet. Is when we did the Deftones studio album ranking show a couple weeks ago or a month ago or whatever, and he hit me up. He's like, "Oh man, I would have loved to have done that Deftones show." So that's kind of how we met, and yeah, it's too bad. I would have loved to have gotten you on that Deftones show had I known.
And then this beautiful
Oh, Super
masterpiece.
Buick. Oh, that's great.
Love that album, dude.
Yeah. That's actually very industrial too back then. Super Buick, the first couple of mushroom heads that people don't even know about.
An album I never listened to by Mushroomhead is the Beautiful People, Strange Faces or Ugly Faces. I've never heard that album, and everyone tells me that album's amazing, but I never got around to listen to it. And
Oh
I do
yeah,
album reviews on my channel, so I might get to it.
Righteous and the Butterfly.
No, it's the
Oh,
Beautiful People and Ugly Faces or something
oh
like
yeah,
that. It's
oh
it's not a very popular one, but a lot of people tell me it's great. That'll be another band I'd be interested if you want to do.
yeah.
I love Mushroomhead.
I think someone else had some interest in that. I can't remember who, but we'll get to that offline.
Definitely.
Oh,
Sorry for interrupting, but definitely please go check out Conflict, man.
oh
They're
yeah.
from Russia, and the lead singer Anna is one of my closest friends on my channel or on Facebook. Period. She'd always ask me how I'm doing. I'm kind of going on a tangent, but dude, you would love them. If you're a Fear Factory fan, you will love them. If you're a Nine Inch Nails fan, you will love them.
Well, you mentioned
But yeah.
Anna, so that's female fronted.
And maybe after this video, I'll show you some other stuff that you should check out too in my box.
I'm a sucker for female-fronted bands because, yeah, I
Yeah,
just love female-fronted bands. I don't even care what genre. If it's just a female singer, it's just providing like a different vibe. Then
she
the
sounds
same.
like Arch Enemy, Elisa and Angela. She sounds a lot like Angela Glasgow from Arch Enemy. So
Oh yeah, yeah. If it's female-fronted, I'm a sucker for that. Like I'll listen to pop punk female-fronted. I'll listen to like anything female-fronted. Basically, I'm not picky.
excuse me.
Um, but we'll go back to me here and let me get my ducks in a row.
Sorry
And
about going on that tangent, by the way.
no, that's fine. Who cares? Hey, we're on free time. It's great. And yeah, I think we're pretty. I'm up to my top four, so I don't feel bad about where the rest of them's going. I just felt bad about maybe I would have liked to gotten hesitation marks higher. I feel bad for
Hmm.
putting Downward Spiral so low because I know people love that, even though I think it's just no. We already did that, but yeah, this one I don't feel too bad about putting Pretty Hate Machine here because I think that's exactly where it
Top
goes.
three, right? Top three.
Number four for me.
Okay. Top
Five,
five's cool.
four. Yeah, I think that's. I think
Oh, it's in your top five. That's what I meant. Sorry.
right. Yeah, top five.
Yeah.
But I think that's exactly where Pretty Hate Machine is go or where it would fit. Somewhere it could be people's number ones, but I think at
That
that
was
point,
actually one of the first Nine Inch Nails albums that I bought, and I listened to it constantly in the car. I love that album, but we'll get to that later. I
oh,
mean,
no,
the lighting is based off of that album. Like it's blue and purple, so it's like
yeah, no,
my
it's awesome.
favorite.
I guess the cover could go a different couple of ways. I know some people had it this way, and
Yeah,
then actual that way. So it could have gone a couple different ways or whatever. But yeah, I feel comfortable putting Pretty Hate Machine here. kind of.
What's your favorite track on there?
It's gonna have to be Head Like a Hole, regardless if I've
Oh
heard it.
yeah,
Even if I've
great
heard it a
track.
million times. For me, I think for even with Head Like a Hole, I have that nostalgia of the music video days where you pull up the music video channel, MTV, much music. I'm in Canada, so much music, but that Head Like a Hole music video is just incredible, right? They got the cages set up, and they got the fans are behind the cages or behind the wall cages there, and it's like
Oh
super.
yeah, yeah, it's so cool.
Oh,
Like
such a cool
it's
video.
so raw. It's a raw video, man. I love that raw feel to it.
Yeah, there is some cool tracks on. There's a bunch of cool tracks on here. Terrible Lie, Down in It, it's great.
Love that track.
Uh,
Terrible Lie.
yeah, Sin is great. Ring Finger. So there is a bunch of cool
Mhm.
tracks. I think the only time with this is that he was limited with his technology that he could use back then, right? He was just stuck to using certain synths and keyboards
Yeah,
and
there
sounds,
and back
right?
in the day, they didn't have that much stuff with video production. It was all analog. Like now, it's all digital, but it was all analog back in the day. So yeah, like you said, he had to find like uh what's the word I'm looking for? Fucking custom props to use. Like he would hit metal with a fork or some shit, and it would bring off a sound. And that sounds fucking cool. Let's put that in the album. Anything that was industrial, like I can go on and on, man. He started as a janitor, and then he became a musician. He just got tired of working his job as a janitor, and he got into just like, hey, why don't I just fucking start making music that does industrial appeal to it? I was like, wow, that's fucking cool, man. Like I said, he's a huge inspiration to me. So, but yeah, man, I really do respect that you put that in your top five.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
So,
I would. Yeah, yeah. I do think it is stronger than, well, obviously the albums that I had below it. Even though I was what I was going along with that sound thing is, I think people may look back on it now and be like, oh, this sound is dated, right? It's not super digitally and this and that current. Just like Year Zero is like super current with all the EDM and the rave scene. This is totally like new wavy 80s stuff going on. 89, so
yeah.
obviously 80s, but totally that Gary Newman early kind of industrial era stuff and Ministry and stuff. So people may have this album lower because they may think it sounds dated or whatever. I still think it's cool. Yeah, I still think it's cool.
A lot of believe it or not, a lot of Deftones fans listen to Nine Inch Nails because I think they're very similar bands. Like like I said, Deftones is one of my favorites. So, but like I never heard Chino reference Trent in any interview. I've watched a lot of interviews with Chino, and he loves bands like Tears for Fears. Depeche Mode is one of his hugest influence. Robert from The Cure. What the fuck's his
Hmm.
name? Sorry, Robert something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But yeah,
what's
I think that's why I like Nine Inch Nails. I think because they think outside the box and it's something unique. Like there's not another band out there that does music like Trent does or Atticus. Atticus has been him with him a long time. So, but yeah, is it my turn for top? It's
yeah.
four, right? Four.
I still hold this quite highly regarded in my Nine Inch Nails list. Like I know in my head that some of the sounds are dated compared to the sounds that he's doing now. I know that, but I still think 80s new wave is cool. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
still think this album's cool. Because yeah, people may not dig 80s new wave, but I still think it's cool. I'm actually I'm even in the last couple of years or year or so, I just been getting into Gary Newman because I know how much respect that Trent
I
has for Gary.
never listened to him. I've heard Cars. That is it. It's the only song I've heard by Gary Newman. Newman. So
Yeah. And then I know, like, when this pandemic started, I started watching a bunch of Nine Inch Nails videos. It's like, fuck, I never got to see Nine Inch
yeah,
Nails
yeah.
live, so I was just like, oh. And when the pandemic hit,
Have
I
you
was like,
seen Woodstock? Have you seen the Woodstock live? The
oh,
live Woodstock,
oh, for
one of the
sure.
best live videos
Oh,
ever. It's fucking amazing.
oh, super intense there, and he trashes the keyboard at the end, just
Yeah,
super
dude,
iconic.
it's awesome.
I even wanted a tattoo of that when he was like a scene from when he was trashing the keyboard and he has the mud all over him from people throwing the mud.
Yeah, because it was raining. It was raining. It was so fucking cool. It was raining. It was like mud
And
and
I was
shit.
just like,
So cool.
like that is one of the most iconic scenes, images of the whole '90s right there. Well,
Yep.
I think it is, but that was so iconic. Where I think even just bringing up Woodstock '94, instantly I think of that the Nine Inch Nails set.
Yep.
I actually,
That and Limp Bizkit are the ones I think of the most when
oh
I
yeah,
think of
Limp Bizkit
Woodstock.
was '99, and then the Nine Inch Nails was '94. But I even had the Woodstock '94 VHS.
Oh
But
wow, I'm jealous. That's
what
awesome.
was what was
VHS?
yeah,
I've
what was
never heard that in a while. Wow.
yeah, yeah. What was shitty about that? What was shitty about the Woodstock '94 VHS is since it was a VHS, they weren't showing the full sets of the bands.
Yep.
They were just showing two or three songs. So it wasn't until the internet where
Got to
someone
see the whole
released the
fucking
full
concert.
set, you could actually go on and watch the full thing. So I was like, oh
Yep.
fuck, cool! I can finally go and watch the full thing. So that was one thing cool about that's one thing cool about the internet is back then I only saw two or three songs and now you could go actually see the full show on YouTube or whatever. But I'm sure
Believe it
they're
or not,
probably
man. Believe it or not, there's not a lot of fans of Nin, and I'm surprised that there isn't. Like, cause it's a great band. I talk to people all the time. They're like, "Do you know who Nine Inch Nails is?" And they're like, "No." They're like, "Oh, they made the song called Hurry." He's like, "Oh, you mean Johnny Cash?" I was like, "No, not Johnny Cash."
that's funny. Yeah, I know. I remember at the time Johnny Cash was giving props to Trent. He was like he was like saying this is a great song and that's actually why he.
Mhm.
I don't even know how he ended up covering it, but
Do you
uh,
like the track That's What I Get? I love the synth in that track. That's what really just pulls me off. It's like, wow, that's amazing synth. Uh, It's on the Pretty Hates Machine. Sorry, it's
yeah.
one of my all-time favorite tracks from Nin. So, oh, I'm sorry, kind of awkward silence. Is it my turn?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's a great song. It's a good song. I can't specifically remember like exactly how it goes, but yeah, cool stuff. Actually, it was interesting. I was just seeing it's on TVT Records. I didn't even realize TVT was around
mm-hmm.
back then. Must have been one of their first releases ever. TVT. I don't even think TVT is still around either. So
I don't
that's
have the knowledge of record companies and stuff like
I
that.
don't
It's all
even
you,
think
bro.
TVT is still around. I didn't know TVT because Seven Dust was on TVT, but I
Oh,
don't think.
really? Yeah, I love Seven Dust. So
Yeah, huge Seven Dust fan myself. I definitely want to do a Seven Dust video ranking show, whatever.
I'll be
Some
doing a lesson soon. For Seven Dust. I'm
oh,
doing
cool.
Bender featuring Chino Marino.
Oh, rad.
It's gonna be my lesson. Yep.
I think that was the last song of the home album, Bender.
And I'm doing Relative Ash for a bass lesson this month as well.
Relative Ash.
You ever heard of them? They're a new metal band. They're
Mm-hmm.
not popular, but they sound just like Deftones from Adrenaline. Sounds just like Adrenaline era Deftones. So yeah,
So yeah,
we are. So I have 4 left, right?
Pretty Hate Machine was number 4 for me. So we'll cut it back to you and see what's next up for you.
This is getting hard, man. All right. Fuck. Oh, okay. Man. So I hate to do this. I really do. I fucking hate to do this, but it's gotta do it. I gotta do it. I'm giving it to the Slip. Top
Oh,
4, Slip. Top 5. Still in my top 5. Last one was with Fragile. I still got Fragile in my top 5, but yeah, the Slip just it still does it for me, but not as much as it used to. Discipline, great track. Demon Seed, great track. Echoplex is the best track on the album. Echoplex is my favorite track on that album. It's amazing. It's an amazing CD. And I remember at the time that Trent was doing the whole there was like an Easter egg going around that if you bought the Slip album, there was a secret message that you could decode from there's like a little code, a barcode. And it was on the Matrix album. He did that too. A Matrix Reloaded or Matrix, the first one, I can't remember. But like, if you would enter this code, you would be able to see some special thing that Trent embedded into his music or embedded into the whole thing. There was a whole thing going around him. I think it was this album. I'm pretty sure it was this album that he did this. But yeah, the Slip, it's still a great album. Don't get me wrong, man. But it's not top 3 anymore. It used to be, but it isn't anymore. Like I said, Echoplex, I love this track. In my opinion, Echoplex is the epitome of an industrial track. And there's another band that I listen to called Frontline Assembly. That they're also another industrial band. I don't know if you've heard them. They're great, man.
I've heard of
But
them.
yeah, their track they have called Blood reminds me of Echoplex. I'm not a fan, believe it or not. I'm not a fan of 1 Million. Letting You, not really doing it for me. Discipline was the very first song I ever heard on this track. Still love that song. Head Down, another one not really doing it for me. Lights in the Sky is an amazing track. And Demon Seed. The other two, Four of Us Are Dying and Cornea Radia, are not really Corona Radia, excuse me. They're not really, they're not really my thing,
Yeah, I think Corona's
same
more
time, still a great album.
Yeah, Corona's just more of an atmospheric thing, and I think so is the one.
Yeah,
right?
It's a filler.
Yeah, Echoplex, Head Down, Discipline's all great, Letting You, yeah, all great stuff.
My album that's coming out in April, I don't know, you said you've heard me, right?
Yeah.
World Suspension. I have 2 filler tracks in my album because I feel like that without the filler tracks, you wouldn't be able to lead straight into another song, in my opinion. I think that's why they're there. Cause I don't like having breaks in my songs, right? And just like Trent, I don't like he likes people to listen to it on a full listen, like a straight glide, There's no just skipping around tracks. Because if you skip around tracks and you begin a track and you hear like the end of the last track, and it's annoying. So I want my listeners, and he wants his listeners to listen to a full experience, and that's the same thing with my stuff as well. But yeah, the Slip is definitely in my top 5. But yeah, it's number 4 for me, dude. It's got to be because it's just I still listen to Echoplex. I can't even tell you how many times that has playtime on my Spotify and on my CD at home. It is one of the best Nine Inch Nails tracks that has ever been released, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my number 4.
When you were talking about your the hidden Easter eggs, I wonder if these stickers have anything to do with these Easter eggs. These are all stickers.
Not
Stickers from
sure.
the album.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There was a barcode. There was a barcode on there that I remember reading about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are some the original stickers. I bought this used a couple years ago, so whoever had it before me, they still left the original stickers in there.
That's cool.
That
was nice of them to do that.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even realize it was in there. So
you probably have like fucking 50,000 grand sitting right behind you, dude.
No. There's definitely people.
Sorry, 50 grand.
There's definitely people with huge.
Maybe more.
There's people with There's people that have collections that have rooms full, just like rooms full.
Oh yeah.
I do a show with this guy David Big Dog, and he has rooms full. Rooms. He's probably has like 30,000 albums, where he has so much where he might not even listen to something for 10 years because you just don't have time. Like, okay, I'll listen to it, then it's been on the shelf for 10 years. Like, fuck, I forgot what this even sounds like. It's been that long. But yeah, Slip is cool. And we'll go back to me. And I think this one I was flip-flopping back and forth. I almost had it as my number 1, but I will have Year Zero as my number 3.
I already know what your number 1 is then.
Year Zero,
number close. It's close.
Yeah. Year Zero, number 3, and yeah, actually, as I was saying earlier, when you mentioned your Year Zeros, I really love the experimental of the modern sounds that he was doing with the rave EDM kind of sounds that was going on all the time. So I really loved that stuff that he was doing on there. So I know it was kind of a hard pill for like old school Nine Inch Nails fans to swallow. Like, what the hell is he doing this rave EDM stuff? And I thought it was cool. I thought it was great. So, yeah, here we are on that. bust out some of the tracks. It's not even on the booklet, but I actually love most of this whole album. It does get a little long-winded. Like there's 16 songs on the album, so
Yeah, man, it's a long fucking album. That's why I put it at the bottom. I just can't. I
but
love long stuff, but yeah, it's
and
just
actually,
way it's
yeah,
ridiculously long.
and if I were to do this a week down the road or even a month down the road, I could easily have this as number one because this is a
Wow.
super strong album. And you'd think some of the albums, like The Slip, kind of tails off for me. Like the first half is great and then it kind of tails off a bit. This is one of those albums, it does not tail off at all. And in fact, it actually even gets stronger as the album goes on. Because song number 7 is capital G, but then the tracks even get even better. We got Meet Your Master, The Great Destroyer. Oh man. So this album actually gets kind of stronger as it progresses, I think. So
Me, I'm Not is amazing too. That's a great track. Me, I'm Not. It's
yeah,
weird, but it's great.
yeah. And yeah, I love a lot of the EDM kind of stuff that was going on there, the upbeat kind of ravey stuff. I don't know if people will call it ravey. I'm just calling it kind of ravey EDM kind of stuff. But yeah, I think this album is like more consistent. I was trying to say earlier, more consistent than the Fragile and even Downward Spiral. Like I did choose this album over those two just because I think it's way more consistent. There's basically not much filler tracks or much like piano slow Philly stuff, but yeah, I love this.
I feel he made this album at the same time he started the project with his wife. Is her name? Her name is Mary Queen. I think it is. Um, but How to Destroy Angels. And it shows with Zero Sum. In Zero Sum, you hear that kind of How to Destroy Angels vibe. I think it kind of came out the same time that they started that project. I love that project, man. I don't know how you feel about it, but I love How to Destroy Angels. So.
I'm not super familiar with it actually at all. I kind of should get familiar with it. It's
It's
just kind of
female
something.
lead.
It's kind of just something I heard about, and I'm like, I just kind of just flew over my head, sort of thing. Not flew over my head, but just kind of just didn't really pay attention to it. So it is probably something I should go and revisit and check out, sort of thing, and be familiar with it, or maybe even try to buy and have some standout tracks or whatever from it. But I'm not super familiar with it. Yeah, I didn't even realize that they were married. They've been married for that long.
Yeah, quite a while. I think it's going on 12 years, I think,
Oh
or
well.
14. I can't remember, but yeah.
And
I also married a Filipino too. I don't think she's Filipino. I think she is Korean. I can't remember what her nationality, but I love my wife. I've been with her for what 6 years. So
shout out to the wife.
yeah,
And Mary
she does
Queen,
a lot for me.
and yeah. So number 3 for me, Year Zero. I do like a lot of that experimental EDM, ravey kind of stuff on this album. It's very upbeat. I can listen to that at work and keep a good energy, keep a good pace going. So I do like that. And we'll go back to you. I'm not sure what number you're on. I think you're on number 3
Top
as
threes.
well. Yeah, cool. So I think you caught me. So great, cool. So yeah, let's check out your number 3.
You gotta give me a second. You're probably gonna have to edit this out.
No, that's what you
Oh
do.
my god.
I don't know.
Oh fuck. I gotta do it, man. The Downward Spiral. The
Okay, yeah.
Downward Spiral. I hate doing this, man. I really do, but it just
All
doesn't
right.
get enough playtime as it used to.
Mhm.
Again, I love the track Heresy and I love Ruiner. Those are my two, and Reptile. Those 3 tracks alone are just they're amazing. They're amazing tracks, dude. And just like everything on this album is just it's mint. It's one of the best albums that this band has brought out. It's not the best. It's not the best album that they brought out, but it is one of the best. Um, but like I said, man, this album's great, and there's a whole story revolving around how this album became to be, and it revolves around Sharon Tate's murder in California, by the Manson family that murdered her and um, Roman Polanski. That was his wife, the director. I think he's a director or an actor. I can't remember. But he moved into the house that she was murdered in, and he recorded the sessions of the Downward Spiral in this house. And I feel that that's where the track Piggy comes from, because right on the front door at the Hell House, or whatever you want to call it, is the word pig. It's written pig. So that was an inspiration to him, and that was dark, man. That was the
Hmm.
same time that he got to that he was like kind of like developing a friendship with Marilyn Manson as well. Because Marilyn Manson, I don't know if you knew this, he named himself after Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson put together, because he is beautiful and he's chaotic at the same time. I'm not the biggest fan of Marilyn Manson. That's a whole other subject, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Um, but yeah, man, there's tracks that just pull you in, like Mr. Self Destruct. I didn't care for it when I was younger, to be honest, but now listening as an adult, I really do love this track. And then it leads right into Piggy. Piggy's such a weird ass track. Leads right into Heresy. Goes into March of the Pigs. Closer, one of my all time favorites. Ruiner is definitely up there. Reptile, The Becoming, Big Man with a Gun, Eraser. Even Eraser's great because it just reminds you of like it sounds like flies kind of like just like brushing up against a metal kind of pole or some shit. But yeah, man, it is great. And to end this album with one of the best ballads that they have ever wrote, Hurt, is just wow. It's like it's a concept between the fact that he wrote an album that is so fucking chaotic and so fucking dark, and at the end you have a beautiful ballad, which is Hurt. And it's just like you're hurt from all the pain that you experienced in this album. I know I was listening to this album when I was going through a rough fucking time in my life, man. A rough fucking time. Drugs, deaths in the family, deaths of friends, suicides, post-suicidal thoughts, um, everything, man. It hits me. It's a great fucking album. Really fucking hits me. I'm super passionate about this album. I'm sorry that I cannot put this at the number one, but seriously, man, his album's so fucking good, man. I will be listening to this album until I'm like fucking dead, dude. Seriously, it's an amazing piece of work. It is art. It is the definition of art, gothic art. That's what it is basically. It's gothic art on an album, I guess you could say. But because I get a lot of shit from people saying that music is an art. Music isn't art. Excuse me. I beg to differ, man. If you can create music and to have someone close their eyes or to just listen to it and imagine themselves in another place, that to me is art. That, like, when I look at a painting, for example, that's art. Like, I imagine myself in another place. I'm going way off fucking track here, but yeah, the down dude, the Downward Spiral is fucking amazing. It's such an amazing album. I get so happy when I talk about it. Sorry. Go.
Yeah, no,
You're right.
I knew a lot of people. I know most people love this album, and like even that Hurt song. I know people just love that Hurt song. Like a lot of girls and guys too as well. But for me, Hurt never really did anything for me. It was there wasn't a groove to it. There's nothing I could groove with really. So it just never really gelled with me. Like I do like slower songs, but there has to be some sort of like groovy pace to it. But there just wasn't really nothing there for me. But I know that's a huge song, and I have the um, unpopular opinion on that for sure. I'm just gonna get up and turn on my light. The light's going down here, so I'm gonna have to turn on my
You're
light
good,
here.
man. I actually switched my. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
So I switched my. I don't know if you can see this, but I switched my window with like a blue blanket so that way it can be nighttime all the time in my studio.
Yeah. I've heard of people doing that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, man, I'm really upset that I had to put that. as number 3, but it is what it is, man. Sucks, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Actually, I was thinking when you were talking, I'm like, well, I know there's been one album for sure that hasn't appeared on either of our lists, so it's got to be high for.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm going to be
it's
guessing
timeless.
that
It's dude.
number one. Although you also didn't mention, I don't think you mentioned Pretty Hate Machine yet either. So
Well, first off, is this gonna be in the video? Because I don't want to reveal my first pick or my second pick yet.
yeah, it's going
But
to be in the
I'm gonna
video.
tell you.
Don't mention
I'm
yet.
gonna
We'll
tell
see.
you right now, bro. The album that I still listen to this day is fucking With Teeth. It is one of their best. It is their best album, in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
fucking
we'll save
amazing.
that here for a couple minutes, but. The lighting's really bad. It might be really weird or something.
No, you're good, dude.
I might try to adjust it
You
here.
gotta change your white balance maybe on your camera or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's fine. It's not like
You're
it's
good.
not the end of the world. It's we got a yellow spot. You're blue and I'm yellow. Okay, cool. Yeah, that is really weird. Ugh. Anyway, okay, this is the one I'm
So
breaking.
I put that. I'm sorry. I put that as my top 4. I'm missing 3. There's 3 more that I have left. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's my top.
that's fine. We'll get you to do 2 on your next one, and then we'll get caught up for big one reveal. But anyway, but this is the one I'm breaking the rules for. I was just sticking to the full-length studio albums, no remixes, no none of that stuff. And I was excluding the Ghosts, and I was even classifying Bad Witches an EP, even though Wikipedia has it a full-length album. That's kind of a whole thing I got into with the guy who does the Wikipedia page, I guess. But whatever. If he considers it a full-length album, it is 30 minutes and 50 seconds, ooh, or whatever. But this is the one I'm breaking the rules on. Yeah, I know this one specifically. When you did your tier list, you had this very low in your tier list. You're like, oh, this one did nothing for me. But
Yeah,
oh
it
man,
wasn't really. It wasn't really my thing,
broken,
dude.
the
Yeah.
broken EP. Oh man, this broken EP is my second favorite Nine Inch Nails album. I am
I don't know
considering
how people like this.
I am an
Like,
album, but oh
I
man,
heard Pinion. I heard Pinion live at that Woodstock because he opens up with Pinion and then goes into A Terrible Lie, or is it Reptile he leads into? I can't remember what the fuck it is on that live, but it was Pinion, and then it leads right into another track. And I was like, what the fuck is this song? Because it's just like a buildup of guitars. It's like, what the fuck is this? I never heard this before. So I
might have
looked it up and I was like, it's on this fucking album. I was like, what?
been Wish,
Or
but
fucking EP. Go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
it might have been Wish or something. But I know the one he was trashing is his guitar, and I think it was Happiness and Slavery. But
It was Wish. You're right.
yeah, it's probably Wish that does that built that guitar and
Yep.
yeah, oh man, I will say this. I think this is probably one of the best EPs ever of all time of any genre of any band. This is one of the
Wow.
best EPs of all time.
That's
Why I do
crazy,
have
bro.
this number 2,
That's
and
crazy.
that's why I'm breaking the rules. But oh man, do I ever love this thing? If it was longer, I could easily have it at number 1. Again, it is kind of just considered an EP, even though I think there is some hidden tracks that is not even listed on here
I'm not aware of that.
that would have made it longer. Well, isn't physical you suck
It
me?
was part of this. Yes, it was
What?
part of this era, but I don't think it's on the. It's on. It's on the EP. It's on the EP. It's after Gave Up, and then you had Suck after Physical.
Yeah, there was suck and physical. So like, there's actually technically 8 songs, but they're hidden songs because like it's not actually
Really?
it's not listed.
Oh, it's not even on there. Holy shit, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Gave up, and then it doesn't even show "Suck You're So Physical" on here. So I think there were hidden tracks, sort of thing, like
Yeah.
Diane. So, but
This was his angry stage, man. He was pissed off during this EP.
yeah, I
For
love this.
real, man.
Obviously, anyone that knows my videos or knows my channel, I'm a metal guy. So for me, this would probably be the most heaviest, aggressive thing he ever did in his life. This is some of the most like intense industrial music you could possibly ever ask or hope for. So yeah, this
Does it
is
even beat Skinny Puppy in Ministry too?
I'm not a huge fan of Skinny Puppy. I do like some of the mid later Ministry stuff. I don't like a whole lot of the
Mhm.
early Ministry stuff. I really like some of the modern Ministry stuff, like the late '90s, early 2000s stuff. I think there was Release. I'm not fully sure, but I'm not a huge guy. I'm not a huge Ministry fan, but I do definitely like some of their
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, I think this is one of the most like intense industrial albums projects you could ever hope for, and yeah, this is totally up my alley. This just incredible stuff. I really think this is like he was firing all cylinders creatively and everything.
Yeah.
Although people may disagree with he was firing all cylinders in other projects, but this for me was it. And then obviously this is even my number one, so I'm not just like totally stuck on this old nostalgia.
That's your number 2, correct?
This is my number two. I'm
Yeah.
choosing this as my second. I'm breaking the rules. Like I don't even know if you'd include this in yours because it's an EP, and I told you just full length studio album. So I was
I
breaking the
never
rules.
like I can't include
I
it
was
in mine
breaking
because I
the
never
rules.
sat down and listened to it. That's why I
Oh,
can't include it. So
this is one of those things that yeah, this is like a must for me. I love this. Like this is I put this on and I fully like in with that
you probably
intent.
go crazy, huh?
This shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, I still do like maybe I definitely respect something else that is my number one. So I'll save that for that. But yeah, this is the must for me. And this is another one where I actually owned I owned like a very beat up digipack from way back in the day, like from actually
Yeah.
way back from when them. Well, I didn't actually buy it in '92. I would have bought it a couple years later, '94, '95 sort of thing. But I had such a beat up digipack version that I went and bought a perfect a brand new
Copy.
perfect
You
one.
love it that much. That's fucking awesome, dude.
So
That is awesome.
brand
You're a
brand new.
huge like you're a huge supporter of bands. And I love it. I think that's why I love your channel so much. So that's really cool.
Yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Everyone here, man. Everyone fucking watching this shit right now. Subscribe to Jamie because he's fucking awesome. Seriously. Like this dude gets into the nitty gritty with albums, with fucking digipacks, with fucking jeweled case, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Hell, he gets in the case with fucking bands he's never heard of. So like, yeah, please subscribe.
There's a lot more guys that are way more hardcore than me. I'm kind of just like hey, I love music, and I think everyone
Do you
does
watch
do. And
Metal Trenches?
is that a channel?
Yeah,
No, I don't think
you
I've.
should check him out. He's pretty good. Makes
I
good
know
videos. So.
there's a really cool React channel. I like the Jeeves
Oh,
guy.
Key of Gibbs. Yeah, I watch
Oh,
him. He's
that Jeeves
great.
guy's cool. What's his? He's
Yeah,
got a
he's great,
tagline
dude.
like I forget his tagline, but he's just like one of those like Honolulu, Hawaii type guys.
Yeah, he's cool as shit. I
Yeah,
thought about getting him in an interview, but I can't. It's kind of hard for me to get a hold of the bigger creators because they get a lot of fucking messages. Like
yeah,
even now, I'm starting to get a lot of messages like, "Fuck, how do people do this shit? This fame stuff." So,
I
but
know.
yeah,
Even sometimes I'll get some replies on my videos, and I may not feel like talking. I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to reply right now. I'll reply
yeah.
later," and then they'll add up. I'm like, "Oh shit, I haven't replied to anyone for 2 days." Oh, but
Nah, man. There's been like fucking months I haven't replied to people. They
oh,
understand, and I've got like 1,000 requests, man. So it's hard.
yeah, no, that's cool. And yeah, thanks to you for doing this. I had no idea you didn't want to or anything like that. You
Thanks
just
for
kind of
including me, dude. Seriously. Like that, I'm glad that we got to meet each other through a Facebook group. That was really
yeah,
cool. So,
actually, I'm just glad I'm actually just doing Nine Inch Nails because without you, I probably wouldn't have any other friends that would know Nine Inch Nails. I'd probably have to go to the Nine Inch Nails group and try to hit
I'm
people up.
upset that Scott's not here, man. I really
And
am.
that,
Scott, if
but
you're watching this, you should have fucking been here.
it was really unexpected. You're like, I'd love to do Nine Inch Nails. I'm like, so would I. Let's do it. So here we are doing it. But yeah, we'll go up to you. My next one is going to be my number one. So I don't know where I think
And
you
I
have a
already know what it is. So,
so maybe you know a couple and get caught up with me, or
okay.
however. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and I think do your number two and three, and then you'll be caught
So
up
I
with.
missed I missed two albums. I missed two albums because I was like getting into it, like I was kind of getting in the conversation, kind of like lost track. I missed two albums.
Yeah,
The next one going up. Is it my turn or are you
yeah,
still?
yeah. No, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So the next one for me, man, honestly, the next one for me, again, I fucking hate to do this. It's hesitation marks, dude. It's a great, great fucking CD, man. Great album. I wish I owned a copy of this. Like, I seriously wish that I owned a copy of this because it's an amazing fucking album. Seriously, is from the Eat of the Dreams all the way to Black Noise. This whole album with the remixes on the other side, it's amazing. It's an amazing, amazing piece of work that Trent has put out after how long of a hiatus? 2013 all the way from fucking what is that? 5 years, dude.
Yeah,
5 years hiatus from the slip. And he
yeah.
comes out with this beautiful fucking masterpiece of an album. I I remember the first track that I listened to on this album was Came Back on It on the radio. I was like, what is this? Is this a new Nine Inch Nails fucking song? I looked it up. I was like, oh my God, Nine Inch Nails has a new album? Holy shit. So I started listening to it, right? The tracks that really fucking get me going. Copy of a. I love Copy of a. Love that song. I love All Time Low and Find My Way. Disappointed is my all-time favorite track on this album, along with Satellite. Everything really didn't care for it. I love Scott's favorite track on this album as well. He's one of my best friends that is in the Deftones group. We met through a Deftones group. Um, his favorite track on this album is Various Methods of Escape. And I really can't get into that one. I like that one. It's great. Running is amazing. Into is fucking phenomenal. I Would For You, everything. I did covers. I did a cover of I Would For You, I think, on my channel. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I want to do eventually a cover for Into, Satellite, all that stuff, man. I yeah, I did. I Would For You. I did it before I messed with Reaper with vocal covers. That was a long time ago, fucking like 2 years ago. I did it. But yeah, it's fucking amazing album, dude. Seriously, if I can buy this physical album and own it, I will, cause it's great, man. I give a lot of praise to Trent coming out with this masterpiece after 5 years. It, all of the progressive elements that are in this album with the industrial elements, you've never done that before. Never. Like there is not a single repetition in this album that I noticed. And I watched a live stream, or it was a live stream, or it was like a live video of them on the tour of Hesitation Marks. And dude, fucking phenomenal. Dude. I'd never seen this band live, and I promise you, before I die, I will see Nin live. It will happen. But yeah, man, this album's great. This, I recommend to everyone watching this, if you are a Nine Inch Nails fan or not a Nine Inch Nails fan, please go fucking buy Hesitation Marks. That is it's gonna be your introduction to Nine Inch Nails. It is I think it's one of the best introductions to Nine Inch Nails in my opinion. This and With Teeth, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's kind of, I'd say it's almost kind of out of my box to even like this. I guess in general, just because a lot of this album is kind of very moody and not like moody, like angry, like broken. It's just moody in an atmospheric way. Like I don't even know if that's the proper way, but for me, it's kind of very atmospheric. And sometimes I don't like a lot of like slow atmospheric stuff. But something about this, it just really, yeah, this album in particular has really grown on me the last couple of years. Where when I first heard it, I was just like, oh, there's nothing really rock about it, or there's nothing like
You
super.
really you really want me to give you the best experience for this album? Turn all the lights off, close your eyes, wear headphones or get monitors or whatever speakers so you can hear the whole experience and listen to the song Into all the way through. I promise you, dude, you will change your mind. You will change. I'm telling you, do it. If you do this, please let me know when you do this because I'll be like, I told you so, dude. It's fucking amazing. It's an amazing song. It's one of the best tracks on this album. But yeah, man, if we're going into that, man, it's definitely in my top three. It's such a fucking amazing album. I hope that Trent makes a new um he makes something that sounds like this because this blew me away the first time I heard this album. And I'm pretty sure Scott's going to agree with me that this is one of their best albums of all time. And he still listens to it to this day. So, but yeah.
Like,
My fucking throat's killing me. It's like burning talking too much,
yeah, no,
dude.
I
I need
had
to get a drink of water real quick.
yeah, that's fun, cool. Like I had this third, I guess I've never
Can I
one,
go
two.
grab a drink of water real quick? Sorry.
I had this, yeah, I had this sixth. Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll just keep talking away.
Okay.
Yeah, I had this like sixth on my list, sixth bottom down, and this is one of those albums where it's actually every time I listen to it, just like as PTB was saying, you actually have to listen to it in full, and like it is one track just kind of just keeps going to the next and to the next, and it's so moody and atmospheric in a way. Yeah, again, I you just kind of use atmospheric to kind of just get that vibe across. But it's kind of that atmosphere, kind of building undertones, right? That undertone vibe thing going on. And if I were to do this again in a year, I think I would have this album much higher than I did now. Like like even when I was making this ranking, I would have liked to have gotten it higher today. It was just really hard to get that above some of the other classic, iconic ones that I really like more.
Yeah.
But if I were to do this again, even in a
You're
couple
talking
of
about
years,
hesitation marks, right?
yeah, if I were to do this
Yeah.
again in a couple of years, I think this would be the one that kind of goes up higher in my
I'm
list.
telling you, brother, do what I told you to do and you will never regret again. Like, seriously, it is amazing. Just closing
Uh,
your eyes and listening to that track.
yeah, like I was saying when you were gone, that like you were saying, it's one of these albums that you do have to play in full, and the tracks
Hmm.
just sequence into the next and the next to the next, and it kind of has like this very kind of atmospheric kind of undertone vibe going on that's kind of like build,
I love music that sounds like that. It
kind of
just
like this
takes
very
you out of
moody,
space
buildy.
or something.
Yeah, it's like this very moody kind of buildy type kind of album. It's really cool. I was actually listening to it before, and I think there was a few songs that I would typically skip, and I was just like actually like enjoying it. So it's just like this is a grower album for me.
Yeah.
I'd say some of the even like classic old school Nine Inch Nails fans probably don't like. I've actually even heard some people like maybe not trash it, but say they don't like it on like the Nine Inch Nails group. They're like, oh, I don't like Year Zero. I don't like Hesitation Marks.
Wow.
I don't like that new shit.
Crazy.
And I'm just like, oh wow, like you guys are really close minded because even I, as a metalhead,
Very.
I listen to punk and hardcore and stuff, and I found a way to get into it. So yeah, Hesitation Marks does has like a really cool kind of just underlying kind of
Mhm.
moody thing going on there. Really
It
cool.
kind of reminds me of whenever I was watching your podcast on Deftones, the ranking podcast that you had with the other guys on Deftones. It reminds me a lot of Koi no Yokin. A lot of Koi no Yokin, like that album right there, just with the atmospheric vibes. And Koi no Yokin is one of my all-time favorite Deftones albums. So, but yeah, um, off topic. Next up, so like I said, I missed two, so I gotta get caught up with you.
Oh right, yeah.
Um, fuck. So I was gonna pick this as my number one. I changed the lights to purple and blue. I was like, yeah, this is my number one. But then thinking about it, it can't be, man. It can't be. I can't put this as my number one, and because there's one album that I listen to more than this album, and that's Pretty Hate Machine. Pretty Hate Machine is gonna be my second one. The reason why I'm picking Pretty Hate Machine is because I don't know, man. I used to love this. I used to love this album, but like I still listen to it more than Hesitation Marks. I still listen to it more than Downward Spiral. I still listen to it more than Fragile. But yeah, this album's great, man. It's a great fucking. This was my introduction to raw Nine Inch Nails. This was the rawest of the raw fucking Trent. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. My buddy showed me this album. I was like, wow, this is fucking amazing. The song that I still listen to this day is something I can never have. I also covered it. It's fucking amazing track, man. Kinda I want to decent. I didn't really care for this one. Sin is amazing. That's what I get. Another great fucking track. Terrible Lie, definitely one of the best on the album. Down in It, that's Scott's favorite track. We talked
That's
about
such a
on.
That song sounds so dated, but it's still so cool.
Yeah, man. But yeah, and the closing track, Ring Finger, is really cool too, because it's just so freaking synth. It reminds you of 80s synth, like 80s fucking music, like Tears for Fears, Depeche Mode, fucking Flock of Seagulls. What are bands? You gotta help me here, man. Fucking Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds, fucking all that stuff, man. Like I was born in '89, right? So I missed all that shit. But
Now
me
you were
and
born.
Scott talk about this
You were
stuff
born the year it
all
came
the time.
out.
Yeah.
You were
Me
born the
and
year.
Scott talk about this stuff all the time, like the 80s stuff. And I listened to this band called Information Society, and they made this. There's like a one hit wonder. Let me look up this track 1 second. I don't know if you've heard this, but What's on Your Mind? Pure something. What's it called? Pure Energy. What's on Your Mind? And I came on the radio. I was like, what the fuck is this? This sounds like a 90s kind of vibe here, but it was like an 88. Really cool, man. Never heard that before. It's one of my favorites. Um, but yeah, the whole 80s vibe that this album revolves around. This is like the evolution of the 80s to the 90s. This album is, in my opinion. You're right. It did come out the year I was born, so I didn't get a chance to experience this when I was a teenager or when I was a little kid. A toddler, whatever you want to fucking call it. But yeah, man, this album's great. It is seriously one of the best. Like I said, I arranged my lights because I was gonna pick this as my number one, but there's just one other album that never, never gets old. Never gets old, dude. Never. And you and me both agree on that one.
It's
So
funny,
without
Mike.
further ado, brother, let's hear it.
It is. It's funny. We might as well just kind of. It's kind of seeming like this is both our number one. So I guess we're kind of just both do our number one together, sort of thing. But
I'm gonna change my lights while you try
that's
to
fun.
figure that out.
But if anyone has been following along, we neither of us have mentioned With Teeth yet. So it looks like he's setting his vibe to the color here, sort of thing. But yeah, here's my number one, With Teeth, and I almost had Year Zero ahead of it, right? Maybe right before the show, but I did leave With Teeth number one. And even though I'll start out with the bad, is even though I'm not a big fan of the last four tracks, Sunspots, The Line Begins to Blur, Beside You in Time, even though I'm not a big fan of the last four tracks, I do think that the first the first three quarters of the album is so strong that it's strong enough for me to have a number one. And it's kind of interesting is he does a lot of. It almost seems like this album he does a lot of singing. Like he tries to actually do a lot more like more singing, more songs, like structured songs, which is kind of weird considering the rest of the discography. Sometimes some of the
Yeah,
singing
man.
takes a back seat, and some of the actual songs are way less structured and way more chaotic. Especially on Year Zero, he kind of started experimenting with the EDM and EDM, and then Hesitation Marks. So I guess Hesitation Marks was way after, but even the stuff before, like Fragile, was way less singing and a lot more instrumental stuff. But yeah, I don't know, something with Teeth. He kind of felt like doing something, dare I say it, like mainstream. He always started singing more, and
Yeah.
like he started having structured songs. Like okay, like an actual like structured song that could be on a radio. But there was a ton of radio hit songs on this album. But this is a very strong album, and he's singing a lot, and it is kind of different from his earlier albums where yeah I don't really know if I don't know if you have any stories or read any interviews that he did around this time when this album was coming out and why he kind of
Yeah.
went a little
Oh my
like
god, dude.
structured with it, if that makes any sense.
It's a fucking amazing album, dude. Seriously. I can't even get over it.
Is is this your number
So
one?
good. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay,
And
right.
we
So
we
then,
both have the same number one, bro. There's
whoa,
only one
cool.
left, man.
So yeah,
There's
it,
only
it
one
was
left.
we were like totally different. This whole
Yeah.
discography, like what I had down, you had up, and what I had up, you had down. So it was all different. But then here we are meeting at number one, both number
Look at
one
this.
together.
The
Oh,
shirt. The shirt screams it, dude. I mean, this is fucking with Teeth era.
yeah, that's
This is with
awesome.
Teeth era. I mean, look at the logo. You know what I mean? The fucking logo is just like, if you sit and look. Of course, it doesn't have like the paint dripping, but at the same time, this is the logo of With Teeth. In my opinion, I think it is. But
Yeah,
yeah, dude, it's an amazing album, dude. Let's just sit here and like agree. We both agree that this is their best album of all time. Um, what are some of your favorite tracks? Let's just get started, man. What are some of your favorite tracks on here?
pretty much the whole first three quarters of the album. Like I did start out
Yep.
saying bad. I'm not a big fan of the last four tracks, but everything else, like
Really, you don't like the last four?
I'm not a big
Those are
fan of the
some of my
last four.
favorites.
But everything else, right? Like I can just run through the whole thing. But yeah, the collector, the hands that feeds, every day is exactly the same with teeth, only getting smaller and smaller. So, uh, yeah,
Every
this
Day is Exactly the Same got popular with the movie Wanted. And I was like, I was in the theater. That's fucking Nine Inch Nails. I fucking screamed it. And everybody looks at me like, who the fuck's Nine Inch Nails? I was like, it's a
so,
band.
and which is oddly, I don't think
That's my tier list
in
thumbnail
any of
too.
the albums, he never has a picture of himself. This one, he actually does have a picture of himself here.
Yep.
So that was kind of different. Again, I, it almost even seems like even though he decided to put a picture of himself, it was like a sign that
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say mainstream, but like yeah, he was like singing normal songs with a structure and like a core, like a verse, a chorus, a verse, chorus, and yeah, he's like these songs just like really work well. He was on fire. I don't know. He must have been feeling kind of happy. He must have been in a really
So
good
good.
place. Almost sounds like.
I
Like
remember whenever Only came out, what's the music video? I was like, what in the fucking world is this? I was like, wow, this is amazing. That whole song is not singing. Literally, he doesn't sing one time in that song. It's all talking. I was like, wow, I've never heard anything like this. Like, Only is just, it's such a unique track, dude. Seriously, it's one of their most unique tracks to this date. But
I
yeah,
never,
I'm gonna let you finish,
yeah,
talk about yours, and I'll get into
I
talking
never
about mine.
even, I never really even stopped to realize that he was just talking it only.
Yes,
Just because it is kind of like a groovy undertone, like
he
musically.
sings in the chorus. There is
But,
no you, there's only me. But yeah, it's all talking.
yeah, because there is a really cool, almost sounds very much like Pretty Hate Machine, like this, like the music musically wise. Like he has that doodle 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 that doodle. I don't even know how to make it right, but he has that cool little sound there that is coming to my mind right now on that song only. But yeah, with Teeth, I'd say is like a very enjoyable album. Like if someone wasn't a Nine Inch Nails fan and they actually wanted to hear like songs that you don't have to like hear over and over that you can just hear once and like it, like this would be the album that you could
Yep.
really catch on quickly to.
Oh
That
yeah.
doesn't like it doesn't really need a whole growing phase. Like hesitation marks, you need like for me it needed a growing phase where it's like the first time I heard it I wasn't totally in love with it. And then the more I listened to it, the more every time I listened to it, it just I started to like it more and more. Like in full, you can like listen to it as opposed to skipping songs. So it's like, okay, now I'm really growing onto it. But this is one of those albums like you put it on right away, and okay, there's some catchy verses that you could really catch on with instantly. So, yeah, super strong album.
Yeah.
And
It's
was that
amazing.
2007? 2007?
It's amazing, dude.
I think it's 2007. Doesn't even stand the. Oh,
It
none of them.
was 2005
Oh,
came out.
2005. Right, right.
Yep.
My bad. Doesn't even say the. Oh, it
Yeah.
does say the year on back. 2005. Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
At
very.
one point in time, at one point in time, I will do a full one take vocal cover of this whole album. It is my all-time favorite Nine Inch Nails. Yes, a one take vocal cover. No breaths, no stopping, dude. It is one of my all-time favorites. It's fucking amazing, dude. It seriously is. And it's just from the beginning to the end, I can listen to this album on a multitude of times per year. It's just amazing. There's just one other band that beats this album, and that's Deftones. That's the only band. Like Nine Inch Nails is so close, dude. Sorry, I'm doing it wrong. So close to being one of my favorite bands of all time, but there's just one other band, and we all know who that is. That just fucking beats them, dude. And like even Gore, I absolutely fucking hated Gore when it came out, dude. But now I like it. As I'm getting older, I like Gore. You know, and it's just weird for me. And Scott, even he likes Gore. He hated it at first. He loves Ashley Hologram. That's his favorite song. But I can't really get into that track. Like I love Rubicon. That's probably my favorite. But anyway, off topic.
Well, I love
The
Patura Infamani and Patura.
I never gotten out. I love the lead in the beginning of that, but I never
Yeah.
got into that one.
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
love Gore, but probably heard me talk about it on the video. Or
yeah,
I confess my
I
love to
watched the whole video. Yeah,
just because I know that the people disliked it when it first came out, and they totally wrote it off. And then now since Ohms came out, they've went and re-listened. They've
yep.
re-listened
Ohms is amazing.
Gore, and people I think are starting to now finally appreciate Gore more now. So it's just happening.
Same as Saturday Night Wrist. That's also in their album that has to grow on
Years
you.
later, where people are going back and finally appreciating something they said they disliked and this and that. I'd say that's almost like me with Hesitation Marks, where at first I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, but now I
Yeah.
really love that. So that's one of those. That's
Are you
almost
gonna do what I told you to do?
turn off all lights and listen to that track.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
what did I say? Into.
yeah. That's it, man. Put that on your list to do. That has to be done. But anyways,
I think I
yeah,
just
dude.
listened to Into right before the show as I was trying to crunch out my ranking. I was just kind of skipping through some tracks and just kind of crunching it out. But that's one of those albums where I put it on, and I start getting sidetracked doing something else, and next thing you know, I've listened to the whole album.
All right, man. I'm going off topic here with Deftones, but at the same, dude, I would love to see Trent and Chino collab together. I'm waiting for that day. I really am. But at the same time, man, let's get into this. All the love in the world starts out just as like a fucking oh, the made of fun. I don't know the fucking lyrics, but yeah. And it's like, wow, the production on this song alone is just amazing. And then it goes in straight into You Know What You Are. And then after that, into the collector. Then the fucking most popular track, The Hand That Feeds, and Every Day is Exactly the Same. Love is Not Enough. All of these songs are just timeless for me, man. I constantly listen to this album. My favorite song on this album to this day is oh man, I don't know, man. I'm sitting here listening to it as I'm telling you. Hang on.
Listening to it. Oh, what? That's unfair.
I think it's the line begins. Is it this one? Yep, it's the line begins to blur. That song, and I think that's what I said on my tier list as well. That song is just timeless, dude. It is one of the best Nine Inch Nails tracks that they have ever released. From the guitar solo in the end to the freaking Simps in the beginning, and then his powerful, powerful fucking uh raw, distorted vocals throughout the whole track. It really reminded me of Chino on Adrenaline. This whole album did. His approach on his vocals, with the distortion. I love distortion on the vocals. Like I said, I told you earlier that I got a Firewall cover coming soon on YouTube. That you should definitely check out. I don't know if you're a fan of Adrenaline. I think you liked Adrenaline on your
Oh,
video.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
man,
think
that's basically all I gotta say about With Teeth, man. I love this album. It is timeless. I listen to it a lot, like a lot. So yeah, man.
this is
I wish
actually
I owned
really
it.
this is a really cool album. It's where it's almost like the middle of the road for Nine Inch Nails, where it has that early industrial phase, but it also has him kind of doing some like straight up regular songs, like not regular, but if he were to do regular songs, like this is kind of some ones where he was kind of stripping away some of the industrial EDM layers and just kind of going a little more straightforward with some of these songs, right? Like even like the hand
Yeah,
that
I got
feels
you.
slower and things like, and every day is exactly the same. Like these are actually like structured songs that were played on the radio. Like I've heard these songs on the radio and things like that. So very accessible, listenable stuff that is not going to like that you really need to kind of grow into sort of thing. But yeah, very accessible album. So uh,
Yeah, it's great, man. Thank you for having me today. Seriously, like this was the most fun I've had. Like I've never done this before with someone. Like talked about
right,
music like
right.
with another person. So
You
it's
do
always
the
just me and the fucking camera, you know?
you do a reaction with two people. I don't know if that's like two separate and you got to link it together, but
Wait.
since you
Oh
do
no, that's too separate. I can do Zoom, but at the same time, it's not gonna come out like how it's supposed to sound. I don't know. It's just kind of laggy. I don't want lag stuff. I thought about using Zoom. Zoom's kind of it's nice. It's pretty good. You know, it's not the greatest, but at the same time, the greatest is Skype in my opinion. But yeah, I don't use Skype anymore. Um, but yeah, man, this was fucking awesome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing what you do. Seriously, for the music community, for supporting music. There's not any other channel out there that I watch that is like yours. It's very unique. There's no fancy editing that you do. It's all raw. It's all fucking raw. Like you have the cuts and stuff, from like the silence and stuff. But yeah, it's all raw. I love it. It's just like a straight video that I can just sit down and listen to even. I don't even have to watch it. I love podcasts. That's why I play like World of Warcraft and like edit my videos listening to podcasts. So, but yeah, man, thank you. Seriously.
yeah, I know these long format shows aren't for everybody. There's people that would just prefer to watch a quick 10-minute little clip and then move on to
Yeah.
something else. But my inspiration was I found myself like when the pandemic started, I would go on YouTube at late at night when I'm winding down. I hit the couch and you pull up like YouTube and I started watching like these long format shows. And like for me there was an entertainment value and something that is like half an hour, 2 hours. Like there's like an entertainment
Hmm.
value as opposed to just watching a quick 10-minute like collection update video. It's like okay that like they'll show all the albums like oh yeah I just got this in the mail. I just got this in the mail and then 10 minutes later the video's over and like there's not much entertainment value to it from like a viewer standpoint. So that's how I kind of wanted to start doing these group shows and discussions because for me that's what I found myself watching and late at night was some other
Hmm.
discussion videos and for me that was like an
Have you
entertainment.
checked out Stiff Truth? Have you watched Stiff Truth yet? The Stiff Truth? That's Scott's show.
Doesn't sound familiar, no.
I can give you the link in the chat. Hang on.
Um, but anyway, yeah, I'm looking at the time here, and it's like I think we almost did 2 hours, which I was not expecting at all. I was literally expecting this video to be half an hour, sort of thing, like 45 minutes, maybe even, just because like there's just two people, and I was like, I'm not like a super massive like Nine Inch Nails dork where I can just riff off like every year of his life, every month of his life that he was doing, and every month. Like I'm not that deep, so I was like, yeah, I was expecting half an hour, but I really I'm looking at the clock here and I was like, I think we've gone almost
Yeah,
two
man.
hours, which is crazy for two
I
people.
gotta show you some. I gotta show you some music before I leave, though. I don't know if you wanted to include it in the video or not. It's up to you. But these are
I
some of the
don't.
bands that I support. Go
Yeah, no,
ahead.
I check. I see a little pop up. Just did pop up on the screen here. I don't know if that's going to be in the recorded video. I've never had anyone send
No,
me.
not the link. No, I'm asking you like what I'm about to show you. All these CDs. If you want to put in the video, you can. It's up to you. It's not really, it's not Nine Inch Nails influenced or are related. But I was gonna show you some stuff that I've collected over the years and like actual friends I've made doing this YouTube content of band members that respect what I do for them. And yeah, man, I think it's pretty important that you see this. It's up to you.
Like you can show it, or yeah,
I
I
can
don't
show
know.
it. I can show it to the crowd, or I can show it to you. It's up to you. So
Uh, I have no idea what's going on, but yeah, sure. If you want to show it, oh, you like
All right,
see,
cool.
you want to show some CDs? Yeah.
Yeah. Just CDs. Yeah. So, um, this band's called Seven. Okay. This band is a solo project based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He lives somewhere else now. I can't really tell you his location because his I can't give you his first name, but his name is Seven. This is progressive gent. I don't know if you heard of a genre called gent, but yeah, it's progressive gent. He's one of the creators of gent. Fantastic fucking album, dude. This is a fucking masterpiece and a must-have physical copy. If you ever get a chance to talk with this dude, you can go on bandcamp.com and find it out, man. But every track is fucking amazing. You will love it if you love gent and industrial.
Is it
Uh,
instrumental? Is it instrumental? Is there singing?
it's singing. He does everything. He does drums.
Oh,
He does
wow.
guitar. He's like me, just like me. He does everything. So
Oh, cool.
synths. This band is a sign. Sorry, kind of hard to see, but this band's called Psychode. They're based out of Denmark, and they sent me like fucking 4 of their albums because like I helped them with a release of their last album, Persona. Um, I basically donated almost $300 just for them to make the album. But yeah, man, I'm a huge supporter of bands. I love fucking supporting bands. But yeah, Psychode, based out of Denmark. This sounds like Nemec. Are you a fan of Nemec? Fear Factory
I've heard of them.
and Soilwork put together.
I was
A
gonna
lot
say
of good
Nemec has
tracks on
that.
this
I was
album.
gonna say Nemec has European, that European kind of industrial European metal
Yes.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It has tracks on here like I don't know if can you see that?
yeah.
Leech goes to View, Loosen the Tight, Ribbon. There's so many fucking good tracks on this album. This was the very first album I ever listened to by this band, and it's
Cool.
fucking amazing. All right. This band's called Conflict. Same flag that's back there. The eagle. I don't know if can you see it? So you
Yeah,
can
I'm
see
gonna
the
check
eagle
that
right there.
out.
That's their mascot. So basically, it's a concept album. They have concept ideas. This is with their old singer. This is Prototype. This was their very first album they ever made. Their old singer died. He passed away sadly. I did an album review with this album with my buddy Drew Man. I don't know if you watched any of the Drew Man reactions, but yeah, it's industrial. It's fucking hard hitting and it's fucking brutal. It is an amazing album. It's got a lot of good tracks on here. Spybot is great. It's all in Russian. It's all Russian basically. There's a couple tracks that aren't Russian, but yeah, man, it's fucking great. I definitely recommend that. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this band. This is Sleep Token. Okay, this place will become your tune. Fucking amazing album. It's got tracks like Atlantic, Hypnosis, fucking hard hitting tracks, dude. The only bad thing about this album is that if you react to it or hell, if you even talk about it, you're well, I don't think you won't get in trouble for talking about it, but playing their music while talking about it or something or playing their music, you'll get copyright and you'll get a block on your video. But you gotta be very careful with that. But yeah, man, this fucking band's great, man. Their first album, Sundowning, I want to buy it. I really do. But yeah, this is a must, dude. If this is new modern music, definitely a must for you to listen to.
So you did a
It's progressive, gent, and pop music is their genre.
so
What's up?
did you do a react on that and then it got blocked?
Yes, it's gone. It's
Wow.
completely gone. There's like 3
So
tracks that are still up. So
I don't get it. They're not like a super well, like they're not like a super,
it's the publisher.
well,
The
big.
publisher that they're part of, it blocks everything. I don't know. Me and the reactors, we did a whole fucking thing about, publishers blocking our shit and we're tired of it. But yeah,
I'm
this
surprised that
band,
I'm
sorry.
surprised that they wouldn't want you to. I'm surprised that they wouldn't allow it, like the music getting heard, just for them to get the music out there more.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know,
I
man.
know, like the first video I ever recorded, I didn't know about the copyright stuff, so I had a band Blacklace running in the background. Band Blacklace, I could pull up CD, but anyway, it's an old
Never heard
80s,
that band.
it's an old 80s band Blacklace. Anyway, so I upload the video and it said I did get flagged for copyright, but they're still letting me use the music. They're gonna still allow it. So I'm just surprised that they still didn't allow it, even though.
Are you ready for this one? All right, so this is conflict again. Industrial female lead. This is the new singer. This is the new album that they brought out with the new singer. This is not the brand new album, but yeah, but this is my favorite conflict album of all time that they have brought
That's a
out. They
cool
brought out
cover.
two
That's a
albums.
nice cover.
This fucking amazing, dude. Fucking amazing band. Seriously, the low frequency addicted, amazing track. Red line, amazing track. It has a whole opener kind of feel here. Uh, this is Anna right here. Sorry, my finger's kind of fucked up. This is Anna. This is Rodian. Sorry, no. This one over here is Rodian. Uh, this one's over here is Alexi, and this one is I can't remember his name. Fuck. But yeah, I'll figure it out. Sorry.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's a wicked cover on that too. Like the cover
yeah.
art, that's
You
wicked.
got this too.
That's
It's like
cool.
all fucking like Russian. You can still buy this today. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, man, this band is my intro for my videos. With the
Oh,
sword, the Lich King sword. That low frequency addicted is the song that's in my intros. But yeah, man, there's a lot of tracks on here. Fucking amazing. This is a cover album by Conflict. They did a lot of covers like Survivalism and all that stuff. I haven't really got around to listening to this one. Not really too much to talk about. This is the single for Low Frequency Addicted. This is the best version of Low Frequency Addicted in my opinion. And there's Anna again with all the other guys. There used to be another girl in the band right here, but she left for unknown reasons. But yeah, man, I've done constant reactions for
oh,
Conflict.
cool. I want to check them out. I want to check out those reaction videos that you did of them too. So.
Yeah, listen to the band, man. Definitely don't watch those reactions, but listen to the band. It's fucking amazing. Psychode Persona. This is the one I donated $300 to the band. They gave me. So this is what came in the box. They gave me 5 T-shirts, or sorry, 3 T-shirts. They gave me 5 albums. They gave me stickers, and they're
Oh,
all signed. They're like,
oh,
"Posh, you are our number fucking one fan. So here you go." It's like, fuck, this is amazing. But
oh,
yeah,
cool.
man, you got beautiful. That's my real name, by the way, Guido. But at the same time, you got like the flowers and stuff, dude. It's so cool. This album's great. I did another album review for this too. It's great. There's a really good track on here called what was it? Deranged. The track ends and you think it ends, but it's not ending, and it comes back. It's fucking amazing. These boys are from Australia. They're called Nucleus. They are a gent metalcore band out of Australia, from Perth, Australia, I believe. I have 2 friends in this band that I'm really close with. I have Max Paliban and I have Jaden Walker, which is the singer and the guitarist. And dude, this is just an EP, believe it or not, but it's still good. Every single track on this album or fucking whatever EP, it's fucking amazing. I did a reaction to I Am Ocean and it blew me away. I also covered it too.
I
This
think
band,
I think I heard that.
Nucleus.
I think so.
Okay, so this band is Isolated Antagonist. My very first patron, Glenn Mitchell, he came on my Patreon, and he's like, "Hey, this is my band." And I was like, "Cool." And he came on my Patreon, and I was like, "Dude, I love your videos. I love your editing. And I love all the fucking effects that you add in your videos and like the flashing lights and stuff." I was like, "That's really cool, dude. You got a band?" He's like, "Yeah." He sent me 2 CDs for free, Didn't even make me pay for them, dude. Nothing. Um, this whole album is dedicated, man, to veterans of the armed services. And in the army, sorry, uh, yeah, in the army, he had a friend that passed away, and it was this whole album. It's him and another member that are part of this album. This is industrial, by the way, industrial hardcore, I guess you could say, industrial cyber hardcore. But this is the member that died right here. Sorry, that died right there. I forget her name, but yeah. And me being a veteran, I I connect with this one a lot. There's a lot of good tracks on here. Dream of Ignorance, Wages for Slaves. Rest, Binary Decisions. There's a lot of great tracks. I still have to do an album review for this. But yeah, Glenn is a member of the Army, so it's awesome. It really is, to make a whole album that's centered around a death of a fallen veteran. This is their first album, I believe. This is Iceland Antagonist, Affirmation of Entropy. I've heard maybe 2 tracks on this album, The Last Death and Receptor. Both are great tracks, man. They're really good. They're a really good band. Definitely check them out. Theory X is another band, but I don't own an album by them. That's the industrial side. I have some more here. Hope I'm not taking too much time of your time up. But yeah, I have not opened this.
I was thinking about like, okay, let's cut her off, let's end it at some point, just because I'm not, I don't know. I have no idea if people will get mad, if people even watch this part. I have no idea, just because.
Nah, you never know, bro. You never know, you know.
Just because they're expecting Nine Inch Nails, and then we're done with the Nine Inch Nails talk, and they're just going into some random.
Yeah, probably just don't include this then. You send this to me, I'll include this on my channel or something. All right, like Bleed the Sky. These guys are from Orange County, California. I'm friends with every member. I did a whole album review for this. This is an album that came after 12 years hiatus, and yeah, this blew me away. It's a great fucking album, dude. Industrial band from Norway, Sphere. Really good band too. I'm friends with the lead singer. I don't know if you can read that, but yeah, lead singer is also on my Patreon. It's fucking awesome. Or sorry, guitarist. This is the big one here. This is Decision Code. This is Conflict. This is like their biggest release that they brought out.
I didn't realize that they've been around for so long. Wow.
Yep. And you got like, look how beautiful this art is, dude. Seriously. Like, look at this.
Ooh, a triple, like a trifold thing.
Yeah. Look at that. So fucking cool, man. But yeah, man. Fucking cool. Definitely recommend this band.
That one almost reminds me of the Motionless in White. It like folds out like in 8 parts.
Oh, for real? I never got around to listening to that band, man. I heard a couple songs by them.
That's actually kind of Nine Inch Nails like there's a lot of it's very industrial, like industrial goth, Marilyn Manson-y type stuff.
More Psychode. I never listened to this one right here and never heard anything off of this. This one's great fucking album. But yeah, man, Psychode's another band that you need to check out. I'm trying to hurry this up for you. Sorry. Merging Moon. This is another band that sent me CDs just like for free, you know, just for free. And they sent me 3 shirts with CDs. Inauguration. This is a Japanese metalcore band that was cool. Yeah, and I did an interview with them, but sadly YouTube took it down because they're assholes. Anyways, I did an album review on Kamikakushi, which is English for Spirited Away. I don't know if you ever watched that anime, but it's Gravity of Spidel. But yeah, man, that's pretty much my collection so far. I have Mentally Blind in the back. They're a Polish band. It's a metalcore band. They're really good too. A lot
of obscure, degenty, new metal-y, metalcore stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that bands will go out of their way to just send you stuff for, you know, featuring them on your channel. It's crazy. I never thought in a million years I would be at, you know, almost 15,000 subscribers and still building. Like I never thought I would be a YouTuber. I was making WoW videos before I started what I did, you know.
WoW videos?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, right.
But, yeah. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. I really appreciate you for having me on the channel.
Oh yeah, it was cool. It gives me something to. Hey, if I'm doing something to do with music, I'm happy with that. Like whether I'm getting music tattoos, going to concerts, collecting music, listening to music, talking about music, as long as it's music, I'm cool.
If you don't mind, can you send me that last segment maybe separate so I can include that on my video? Because I love supporting the bands that support me.
Yeah, sure. I'd have to figure it out. I don't even know how
You
to
can
do that.
edit it out for yours. That's okay. I
You would
understand
literally
with the
have
Nine
to
Inch
like,
Nails.
you would have to tell me a program to download, to edit it out, to cut it up. I literally don't even know.
Oh, really? Yeah, there's a free program you can get right now called DaVinci Resolve. I could show you how to use it too on my
Shout out
off
to
time.
DaVinci Resolve. But I know
Yeah, I use that shit.
I had a friend message me when just a real quick, you were talking about the reaction and subscribers and things like that, and it's funny. I don't know if the reaction videos ever crossed my mind, even though it's starting to now. Like
Yeah,
when like even when like that new Arch Enemy came out, I was like thinking, oh, that'd be cool to kind of do a real genuine first listen reaction to that Arch Enemy. I even watched your Arch Enemy one that you did there.
just do it, bro. Just do
Wow,
it.
big
You
fan.
just gotta
Uh,
do it. Like I could show you my first video that I did for reaction. It shit quality. I was using a webcam mic, bro. I
Probably,
built up to what I have today. So yeah,
but
man, just start.
uh,
Any time is good to start.
I know what I was going to get into is I know what I was going to say is a friend sent me when the Every Time I Die drama was going around about a month ago. I don't know if you remember that Every Time I Die where the brothers had a fight backstage,
I don't
and
listen to that band.
oh, there was some drama going on about a couple months back where Every Time I Die was having some drama where the brother was shit talking the other brother, and
Oh,
the other brother was standing behind him and heard him shit talking.
oh, fuck.
So anyway, so then it came out in the media, and there was a big story about it
They
saying,
broke
oh,
up, right?
and then a couple weeks later they broke up. But this came out actually right before the breakup. Anyway, so I had a buddy messaging me. He's like, "Hey, have you heard the Every Time I Die news? You should do a news show like where you break the news." I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm not breaking. I'm not. I don't know if I want to get into like doing."
Yeah, fuck that. No, that
You
shit's not for
should get
me.
on the camera and talk about the news, right? I'm like, ah, I don't know.
That's what punk rock NBA does that shit, and I can't stand that kind of content. I would still support you. I'd still like the video, but I would definitely probably not listen to it. I don't like
But
that's boring stuff to me. So
that's one time when someone said, "Hey, you should do the current new weekly news, on your thing." I was like, I don't know about that, right?
yeah, fuck that. No,
But
do music, bro. Music where it's at.
cool. We'll cut the show off there like that. We did our Nine Inch Nails ranking, cool stuff, and thanks for joining me, and thanks for anyone that does watch in the future. And subscribe to or go check out PTB's channel, and I will link that down below. PTB Empire, and I'll link that down below. And thanks for watching. Thanks for anyone that does watch, and subscribe. Mosh. See you later if you want to say your goodbyes there. And yeah, see you.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to Jamie. He's a fucking awesome dude. I really love to do this again with another band that we are passionate about, both passionate about, obviously, and another person. That'd be cool. I definitely love that. This is my best day to do stuff, so we can keep this day. Every time we want to do something. But yeah, please subscribe, like this video, leave a comment because it does help the algorithm. It helps Jamie's channel out like significantly
Oh, I
than
didn't know.
what it's at right now. So, but yeah, man, like you deserve way more subscribers than what you have right now. And
Yeah.
I hate that YouTube has a stupid algorithm for people to get past. And yeah, but yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you very
I think
much.
it's much like your channel where you're like consistent. Like if you're consistent and you do it daily, weekly, sort of thing. And not just where
So
you do one video and then you drop off and do one. You appear a month later. Like if you're consistent with it, I think it'll eventually grow at some point.
So there was a saying that I had from a person that passed away several years ago. He told me the audience does not want quality. The audience wants quantity. If you have more of one thing, there's more of a chance for people to find you. If you have one thing and it's just nothing but that thing, it's being closed-minded and you won't have an audience. There's no audience with a closed-minded mindset. That's the best advice I can give to any creator that's starting in the YouTube scene. I don't have a closed mindset. I hate country, but I'm about to start doing country once it gets 50,000 subscribers. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I even have a good friend that he wants to do a '90s rap show and then a 2000s rap show. I was like, oh man, I've been listening to like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, like those albums for a long time.
NWA, Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg, Dr. Dre,
I
all
was
that stuff.
like, that's '80s. Like I'm
Hell
kind of
yeah.
listening to '80s stuff, but I was like, I haven't listened to like the mid '90s stuff in so long. He's like, let's do the show
Like
tomorrow.
Nelly.
He's always like tomorrow. The next day, I'm like, oh man, I just haven't listened to that stuff for a while. Give me a week, and then I forget to do it. But I'm actually probably going to be doing a '90s rap show where we choose 10 of our favorite '90s rap albums. But he's been on my ass to about
That's
doing
cool.
that.
I'll check it out.
But
Rap is a genre that I'm recently just starting to get into, to be honest.
yeah, I have no idea
I
about like
didn't really like it before.
I was trying to get into some modern rap. I didn't mind those guys. I forget the names. It was like Wale and that whole crew. There was Wale and that. What was that other
Never heard
big
of 'em.
guy? Anyway, there was kind of like a scene going on about 10 years ago. I liked some of that stuff, and then they all kind of went away, and then like all the new batch of rappers came, well, mumble rappers, and all this shit was coming. I was like, okay, I'm not into
Shit's
that.
garbage. Yeah.
But anyway, cool. Let's end the show. We said our goodbyes. Okay, see you. Subscribe,
Hell yeah.
subscribe to both of us. Watch us both. That's cool.
Peace out,
And
guys.
enjoy the entertainment. And yeah, I really like those guitar breakdowns you do. So if anyone's interested in weird kind of like
Oh, yeah.
technical guitar
One more thing.
stuff, check that stuff
One
out.
more thing before we go. Sorry.
I actually found that really entertaining, even though I don't even play guitar. I was like, oh man, this is
Yeah.
actually really cool the way you're breaking it down like that.
I have one more thing to say before I go. Last thing. So, if you are a new guitar player or a bass player and you want to learn how to play, songs that you actually want to play, not fucking Metallica, not fucking Megadeth, and all that stuff. If you're a new guitar player, you want to learn, please come watch my lessons. They need more love on my channel. They need more likes. They need more comments. It needs more help. I do a bunch of Deftones covers and lessons. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. All right, guys. Thank you,
I
Jamie.
found that I did find that pretty interesting. I was like, I don't even play guitar. I was like, that's actually really interesting. This is entertaining to watch you do it, right? But anyway, cool man. Thanks for coming on and doing our thing here, and we'll get out here and say our goodbyes. Peace.